I'm sorry. I just had to. It was an excuse. I did all this. This was an elaborate ruse just to be able to play that intro one more time.
One
No,
more
I'm sorry.
time. One
Good
more time.
morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. However you happen to be watching and/or listening to this, I want to welcome you to a technically hampered but still special episode of the Gaming Circle podcast. I am your co-host, Mr. K. Asante, TK Asante on Xbox, Twitter, all those ridiculous places that we tend to communicate. And of course, I am joined by Mr. Everborn Saga, who is so excited because his dreams have already been met. How are you doing this morning, sir?
Oh no, I'm doing fantastic. One thing before we get started, just some business. Make sure you get the super chats that were in the last stream,
Yes,
so that
100%. I have them.
Okay,
I will
all
speak.
right.
I will definitely be calling them out, and I appreciate all y'all who already left those super chats this morning. Thank you guys so much.
Now,
Yes.
now, even though you all were gracious enough to leave those super chats, Mr. K. Asante is just all over the place with tech issues today.
Okay. Yeah. Yes.
You know, we got to switch streams.
Yeah,
we don't
yeah,
got no audio working.
Indeed,
cutting
yes,
Umbra off.
Oh my God,
This is
terrible.
this is
Yep.
this is so unprofessional, sir.
What are we doing?
So
here?
unprofessional.
What are we doing? Why are we even here, sir? Yes. Continue. I'm sorry. Yes.
Oh no. I just had to.
But you forget what you said to me like 5 minutes ago when we were on the other
Which
stream.
was what? What did I say? What did I say? What did I whisper in your ear?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I had to
It's
do it. I
okay,
had to do
big
it.
baby. Don't worry about it, big baby.
I had to do it. And the voice you hear in the background is a voice that, to anyone who has watched this show a time or two, will not be familiar, will not be new to you. Around these here parts, we call him the lore master. He's the hammer in the chat, keeping you on your best behavior. Mr. Pixelbit G, how you doing this morning, sir?
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning. Let's get it popping.
Oh, bro, tech support will not stop us, man. We're going to get this done, and we are happy to have you here. This is going to be a great episode. And, of course, to round us out, if Mr. Pixelbit G would be considered the man who takes no business, the man who you could almost call him Mr. T-like, right? That's what we are here, right? That's what we are here. You know, that's what you could say that. And if that is the case, then the next man I'm about to introduce will be known as Face. Mr. Infinite Umbra. Go ahead and regale us with a bit of your vocal styling, sir.
I keep forgetting we're not in love anymore.
It's going to be one of them shows this morning. How you doing, brother? How's it going?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm happy to be here with you all always. You know that. And yeah, you know it's ironic. I'm face with no face showing. That's so funny.
Yeah, but, right.
Yeah. And just call me the voice, like little
Voice.
Yeah, call me the voice, like Little Dirk. I'll take that. You know, I'm from Chicago too, so that'll work.
There you
No,
go.
I'm happy to be here, guys. I'm happy to talk about.
I'm
this.
so
Let's do
happy to
this.
have you here, and I'm specifically happy to have you here, Umbra, and you here, Pixel, and of course my man, Mr. Infinite, Mr. Everborn Saga. We want to talk about. We want to like get into it and really
Sonic. We want to talk about that Sonic Superstars game. That's what this whole show is about. I am sorry to disappoint.
Okay.
Especially,
So, all right,
actually, no, I'm not
all
sorry,
right,
J
all
Mo.
right, all right. Between while we go through these super chats and all these shows, we will most likely have to stop and talk about some of that stuff. But as you can see, our stream is still not 100% perfect. So I will take this moment to fix that, and in doing so, I will take a short little break. And before we start rolling the tape on why we are here, because I want to look at last year and talk about tomorrow. But before we do that, yes, as Everborn brings up, there were other showcases shown off that we have seen. There were other things that people are super excited about. So go ahead, Everborn. I knew the Sonic would come up eventually. Yes, Sonic was shown off at the Summer Games Fest. Sonic and Prince of Persia, which I think both deserve some attention.
They both look good.
Go ahead, Everborn.
They both look fantastic, and it's a lot of people talking about why does he look that way, and I don't like the music, and I feel like it's coming from a place of you know where, from you know what people, which we will talk about in a second. And so, firstly, just to talk about that amazing Sonic Superstars trailer, you know what it reminded me of? First of all, when we all played Sonic Mania, which I think is universally loved and praised and whatnot, my only gripe with Sonic Mania is that I wish they would have gave it a new coat of paint, because they got the physics down right, they got the level design down right, they got the music right, but it was still sort of those pixelated graphics, which is fine for nostalgia effects, but you're not gonna get everybody with that, especially when you play a game like Super Mario Deluxe. I don't know if anybody plays that. It's a 2D Mario. It has 4-player co-op, but it's 3D. It's 3D rendered, right? But it's still you're playing on a 2D platform. So that's effectively what they've done, and they've kept the core essence of what a 2D Sonic game is. And this is like this has been the dream for I don't know, decades. And they tried this a little bit with Sonic 4, but that didn't feel like classic Sonic. And this from everything I've seen, and I've seen the actual gameplay clips and everything, it nails the physics. People talking about it says it feels like the OG, Sonic the Hedgehog. And then Prince of Persia is another one, but like just the back and forth where he's running between pixelated and what do you call it? I wonder if they're gonna let you do that thing where you can switch to the pixelated view and the new view.
Kind of like Generations did a little bit. Sonic Generations did. Okay.
But no. I love it. I love the art style. I love that they've given him new powers. They brought him into a new world. So this all, because Sega has been on a renaissance, and I don't care what none of y'all say. Since Hiroki Satomi took over from his father, who used to run the company, who had no problem whoring Sonic out to the highest bidder, anybody who wanted to license him. The new CEO, who is the son of the previous CEO, he just has the Midas touch, right?
And by the way, real quick aside, Everborn Saga will not get to regale the public with more ABK today, so this is his Sega minute. This is how Mia Copway. Continue.
So, since he's taken the reins, he's brought back Streets of Rage 4. He's done 2 very successful Sonic movies.
Yep.
He has greenlit a Streets of Rage movie by the John Wick team.
Which is awesome.
They've entered into partnerships, very close partnerships with Microsoft on technology to build this super game. They have embraced Game Pass, right? And it's been very successful for them. They've done 2 salary raises. So he understands the history of the company and the treasure trove of IPs they're sitting on. We are potentially on the eve of getting a remake or a new iteration of Jet Set Radio. They've already talked about bringing back Crazy Taxi and some of their old IPs. Like, he is really
what you're saying to
turning the company around in a way that I don't think anybody expected.
What you're saying to me is your dream of Microsoft buying Sega is dwindling more and more with this new CEO.
Well, we'll actually talk about that later, because you and I had a conversation about what the scenario would be for such a thing to happen. But I really feel like Sega's renaissance right now is really only matched or superseded by Capcom, right? And they're both doing the same kind of things, right? They're bringing back IPs. They're focusing on what makes them great. They are not following the sort of money grab trends, right? And when you understand your legacy in the same way that Nintendo does, this is what I think you're seeing from Sega and Capcom right now that you're not really seeing from Ubisoft and Square, right? So this guy is really batting 1,000, and this new Sonic game just shows that. The next Frontiers was the highest selling 3D Sonic game, and they're going to give it an even larger budget. So a lot of the technical issues that I think we saw with Frontiers that people took off points for, I think you're going to see that. You're going to see that improved in the next iteration. Plus, the next iteration will probably just be next gen only. So I think you're going to see a full fidelity Sonic with the mechanics of Frontiers in the next one, which is only good for everybody.
So I will put Slow-Mo's comment in there. Good job, Slow. Thank you.
Okay,
Slow.
all right.
Appreciate
Let me transition to what to what we wanted to talk about. So
I love it when
Prince,
see the best thing about this show is when Pixelbit G leaves the chat because he joins the show, then Slow Mo takes up his Pixel's job. It's a beautiful thing.
but see, Pixel wouldn't have gave me time on this because Pixel knows I'm spitting.
Yeah, he's spitting facts right now. I don't let him rock.
I'll say, I mean,
So Slow Mo,
I definitely agree with a lot of that, though. I think Sega's definitely having a nice renaissance in a bit. I like what I saw with Sonic. I like that it's
So
four
did I,
player.
yes. We all
looks
agree.
really good.
Yes. Even I have no slander for you. I think it was a great iteration of what we saw.
Slow Mo, stay your ass in the chat while the big boys talk Sonic. But by the way, Slow Mo, you are welcome because you could get this work live and in person.
Yeah, brother. If you want to be on, please jump on. Let me know. I'll throw you the invite. Let's go.
All right. Now the other thing is Prince of Persia is the other thing, and
Yes.
I don't know if you want to talk about this right now. This sort of new age of the retro sort of 2D style games. Do you want to do that now, or do you want to go through everybody and we can come back and talk about that?
You know what? And there will be okay. We're gonna talk while we're doing this show. We're gonna be obviously rewatching the Xbox showcase and last year's showcase. It's about an hour and a half. Needless to say, there will be some lulls. So I suspect we're going to have some room to have other conversations while that plays. So I think let's start that right now. And salute to the man, the septic sauce himself. He's in here and he's slandering people already. Thank you for being here, Gaz. What's going on? I haven't done that with the folks that are in here. I see Erodimus in here. J Mo Money's in here. Suicide Kings. Bunch of folks in here. We appreciate you for being here. And of course, even after I switch the link, we have 124 people in here. You guys are rocking with us. Thank you so much. Before we get started properly, let me actually get some of the super chats that came in early on the other stream that I wasn't able to acknowledge because of all the technical gremlins. First and foremost, and unfortunately I won't be able to put it up on the stream on the screen, but I will still point out that the first one in here was a $10 super chat by Gerald Mack, the man Gerald Mack, saying he's just showing support and asking that we have a great show. He says he has work to do, so he'll watch later, but he's listening. Thank you, Gerald. We appreciate you. Hashtag you ain't doing ish. New movement. We're gonna make it happen for you, brother.
Slow Mo says he has 20 minutes if we want to give him a link.
Oh, he has 20 minutes if we want to give him a link. Ask and you shall receive, good sir. I will forward you that link immediately. And the next super chat is from our brother, Mr. Joanna Dark. He came in with a $5 super chat. He's saying, "Hello, gentlemen, and to Unreal Umbra 5 Infinite for some combined reason. Everborn, do you want to re-bet those knees that Chunky Sonic won't beat Spider-Man 2?
Oh, Chunky
and
Sonic?
Of course, to me, he says Switch is better than Steam Deck. So, Everborn, that is an interesting question. Do you want to do a knees bet that Chunky Sonic will beat?
because
you've learned your lesson.
I'm not.
You were born on the day, but it wasn't yesterday.
The other one. I'm not accepting the other loss. But Spider-Man, I won't do that because Spider-Man has a legacy that is just as
and God of War
longer. Not like Sonic.
And still,
God of War don't got that 1.5 billion.
Still smashed you though, unfortunately.
Whoa! Pause.
Anyway. For the next super chat.
Can we talk about Prince of Persia for a second? Or do you want to
No, because I want to get these super chats out the way, and then we'll talk Prince of Persia. The next super chat, Mr. Dave Ramos with a $2 super chat saying, showing that Saturday morning support on the live of Showcase Eve. Thank you, brother. We appreciate you being here. I hope he was able to make the transition to this side. And then finally, our final super chat was Mr. Gerald Mack once again with a $5 super chat saying, does this Xbox Showcase have the potential to be the system seller for Xbox? I'm pleased that Everborn. Okay. Yeah, he goes, and please, Everborn, please, he's saying, he's asking you to be nice. Be nice. Yes.
Please.
And joining us, Slow Mo Sonic
you know what?
Slap.
I just saw
Yo.
that.
What's
logo.
going on,
You
Sonic
gotta-
Slap?
you
How
gotta
you
kick
doing,
Slow
sir?
Mo out.
No,
Just kick him out.
absolutely
Oh,
not, man.
hold up.
This is what we're here for.
I know he didn't.
It is
Listen.
always great to have slow-mo Sonic Slap in the building. Welcome, sir. How you doing this morning?
Chunky Sonic still sucks.
Is that
What you saw on his back were not quills; those were fat rolls. Because his behind needs to get back in the gym. He clearly ain't been running because ain't nobody buying this game. So now
Oh,
you know
change
finally.
the name of your podcast to Damage Control per second, sir.
Wow! Nice.
He's waiting for that one?
He's saving that
he's
one.
waiting for that one.
Yeah, I mean, it took him a while to come up with that one. You know, he's as slow with his slander as Sonic is. You know what I'm saying?
Is that Sonic getting slapped in your PSP?
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's absolutely what it is.
Specifically had that commissioned.
That's why we
Just for
call
the
him
slander.
slow-mo Sonic Slap when he's in this spot because he's unique when he's here. But ladies and gentlemen,
yeah,
so
I got
okay,
a
you wanted
little
to
bit of
quickly
time.
talk about Prince of Persia.
Yeah,
let's quickly talk about Prince of Persia, then we'll get into
Let
into the
Slow-Mo
show
get his
proper.
bars off first, and then
Yes.
we'll slander him after he's gone. Go ahead, son.
I don't get the problems with this game. One, I mean, I'm not even a Prince of Persia fan,
It's
nor
racist.
am I.
That's the problem. But go ahead.
yeah, we can get into that.
That is just okay.
No. Seriously,
only
like
part of
it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Okay, we got a game. It's not even being made by the team that's doing the remake of Sands of Time. So it's that like the development of this game is slowing down the remake of that game. That game's development hell is due to that game in that studio, period, in Ubisoft. If this game didn't exist, that game still isn't going to be here. So people acting like, oh, the existence of this game is making it so I don't get to play Sands of Time remake any sooner. That's false. And look at the game. It looked like absolute garbage. Ubisoft needed to reboot it and give it to a different studio. So what does that have to do with this game that actually looks good?
Yeah.
Has good looking combat, good side scroller platformer. I'm not even really into that genre. And I'm like, you know what? I probably would pick this up.
The best compliment I can give it is I saw it. I was like, hey, well, first and foremost, I'm a Prince of Persia stan. I've loved it for a long time. The first thing I saw was Prince of Persia a la Ori and the Blind Forest. I am there day one.
Yeah. Now I had a
The level
conversation.
is very Ori.
I had a conversation with one of the detractors on Twitter, someone of a very big following, who works with Digital Foundry. Now I had a little conversation, a little back and forth with him because he said he called it a poor choice of music to use in the trailer. He said that it did not fit Prince of Persia whatsoever. And I said, well. He tried to switch that to I just don't like the use of licensed music in trailers.
Right. Yeah.
Which
Shut
I
your
said,
ass up.
But if it was Enter the Sandman, maybe
no,
different. That would have been a different topic.
he fell into my web, right? Because I said, oh, well, here is a YouTube link to the Ubisoft music channel where it shows that they commissioned the use, like they actually paid someone to make this song specifically for this game.
Yeah,
So this isn't them taking some kind of like rapper's song that has nothing to
Random
do
song,
off of some
right?
album and dropping it onto a popular rapper song and putting it onto a trailer to try to draw attention. They literally had someone say, make music for the song. The name of the song is called The Lost Crown, which is the name of the damn game.
Which is the name of the game.
So-
That's
so
right.
it's like-
Card.
Slow-mo. So
Yeah,
two things
yeah.
I want to say real quick. To your first point about people who wanted, the Sands of Time remake, right? You know what?
Yeah.
It reminds me of when Blizzard showed off Diablo Immortal when everybody was waiting for Diablo 4. And they were like, it is a completely separate studio doing this. This is not taking us off our focus from Diablo 4, which
Right.
came out when it came out and everybody loves it. But can we just talk about the elephant in the room where they saw a dude with dreads and that is the reason for them not liking it because they
Yep.
think that this is like a black hip hop guy with the music and everything.
I heard
and they don't
somebody
like it.
as a woke. So
Right.
They
But
throw
here's
around
the
woke so
thing.
much. I'm so tired
like
of that.
so people from the Middle East don't have plait hair. They don't have that kind of hair.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
but it's further than that though, because this character is not the prince, right?
Right.
The
Right.
prince.
Right.
So these are several immortals, all from that sort of sub-Saharan Africa descent place. So it's not like this is replacing anyone, right? They can't find the prince. They need to get the prince back. It is literally a spin-off of the game that everybody's talking about, and people don't like it because they think they saw a black face there. That's what it is. And we can find any other reason around it. That's where it came from. So I just hate talking around the side of things when we know what it is.
Yeah, we know exactly what it is. It's the same reason why. I'm sorry, Pixel, but it's the same reason why there's a trending of Peter Parker as Spider-Man on Twitter right now, because people are upset. Yeah, and go check out the hashtag. You'll see all kinds of racists in there saying all kinds of slanderous things about Miles Morales, a fictional character, that, by the way, and all because the Across the Spider-Verse movie is doing amazing, and the view of Peter Parker in that the need for Peter Parker in that movie is basically a background character. If you watch it, he's not important really, and there's like 1,000 Peter Parkers anyway, but still he's not like really in the movie, and it has nothing to do with him, and it's still high quality, and they hate that. They absolutely hate it.
So, which is wild because you have the big $2 billion MCU movies, you have all the other cartoons, you have the game, and you know what I never saw trending? Dick Grayson is Robin.
Right.
You don't see that.
Nope. Nope.
I mean, who even is Robin right now, right? I mean,
It's four different Robins. No one
Right.
cares. No one
change
cares.
characters
Right.
all the time. Nobody even.
But
thinks
you
twice
know
about
what, gentlemen, let us not let these detractors take away from our celebration on the pre-show. We are here to celebrate the games. If they think it's a problem, turn it off. Go play the one from 1999 or whatever. They're still there. I bought them for $6 on Steam. You can still play those.
Nice.
Yeah, I bought the whole collection.
Just a quick note about it. When I saw the
Please.
game, I didn't think of any of that other crap. Right? Music is music. I mean, there's no defined genre of music that goes with games. There's no such thing, right?
Right.
Yeah.
In terms of the character itself, or at least the design, I'm old school. So I played the original Prince of Persia on PC in I guess the late 80s or early 90s, right? Where it was a 2D action game. So whenever I see Prince of Persia back in that style, I'm like, okay, nice, right? They're going back to that style.
Yeah,
So,
I think it's great.
so I was really
I'm super excited. Like, what do you guys think of that idea? What do you think of that idea that initially the fear was, oh, Prince of Persia has had its day. It's for a new school and it's gone for gray beards like us. They were kind of replacing Prince of Persia with Assassin's Creed, right?
Right.
Like all intents and purposes they had, right? And now it's like they're going back to it. I think it's great, even if it's a small small toe dip into that water before they go AAA and huge budget. I still think that's great.
Successful and make them go back and make a bigger Prince of Persia at some point, right? Because
the
power sets that he has, like the tool sets and everything, there's just so much more you can do with it. So hopefully, the hate goes away and people actually play the game. So we'll see.
So really quick, just because I know Slow Mo doesn't have a lot of time,
yes,
I do want to bring up this thing about that you and I were talking about yesterday, Kay, which is I think we're in a little bit of a sort of renaissance of the 2D sort of beat 'em up and platformer and Metroidvania, and it seems like people are seeing a lot of success with these things, and it's not just those things they've never gone away, but they've kind of been relegated to indie developers, right? But now I think with Ori and the big budget that got, we look at Super Mario Deluxe, right? We look at the Metroid game that got shadowed, not the one this year. Sorry, the Metroid game, the 2D Metroid
from last year.
Dread.
Yeah.
Right? We look at how successful Streets of Rage was and we look at how successful Shredder's Revenge was. We're looking at this new Sonic game, which me aside, a lot of people that are not really Sonic people seem like it. They like it, and then this Prince of Persia game, which I think will do well. is there a world where we see some of the more bigger publishers that have legacy IP like invest in these things, because these are theoretically smaller budgeted games. They're not the $50-100 million AAA games that are a risk because they may flop. Maybe these games cost 5-10 million, but they have enormous upside. Is that a vertical that we may see more of the bigger publishers do? Right. So
I think that's the most we're going to get. I think this is the most, like, take Ubisoft with Assassin's Creed. The one that they showed recently isn't a full price game. It's not necessarily what they considered like a $70 full price AAA experience, but they also aren't investing as much into the development of that game because they also don't believe that those kind of games sell anymore. The new open world spam, all this stuff on the map kind of
Battle
Assassin's
Pass,
Creed,
gotcha.
Battle Pass, use here's a microtransaction to get more experience per kill kind of Assassin's Creed game is what they believe in now. And frankly, like, I mean, it's unfortunate. We're us being older gamers, we see it differently, but they look at their financials and they see that every Assassin's Creed that comes out outsells the previous one, and they're just like, well, where are we wrong at? So I think this is really the best that we're going to get. We're going to get like a kind of like we're going to get support for both. And I think Capcom probably would do the most out of it, where Capcom's doing full-fledged remakes of their old Resident Evil games.
So
while also
the
doing
thing about
the new one at the same time.
I think the thing
quick
though,
question.
Slow-Mo, is that people have really embraced Capcom because not only are they going back to games that's classics that people love, but they're doing it in such a a great style. With this right here, I think Ubisoft, as we kind of all can agree, kind of lost their way because it only became about Assassin's Creed. So and maybe Tom Clancy, I guess. But like, so kind of going back to this.
A one kind of format that they just applied to every single IP, regardless of how
Assassin's Creed or Tom Clancy gas game. That's their move.
Well, I don't want to miss what I'm getting at.
Although I love the Division. The Division's awesome.
I do think this. I think it's a good path to them to travel, because every time they remake one of these classic games, and it's like
people love them.
It's today's graphics, but it's still in the old style, whether it's a beat 'em up or a platformer. They all come out great, and they seem to sell very well. And I'm saying I want to see more of that, right? I don't think that
defined very well though. Like, is it selling like
slow? Yeah. I hear your point, but don't you think that there's a world where, because we all see it, and to Umbra's point, right? It seems that a lot of them are falling into that. Hey, the one that works is the one we stick with. So then, Activision becomes the Call of Duty sweatshop, right? And Ubisoft becomes the Assassin's Creed and gas game factory, right? Isn't there a world where you release these little nuggets of interest and creativity to see how it goes?
I think
we go, oh my God, this is amazing. And as such, we start seeing more interest in being paid in there. Because
that's what Marvel does by introducing new characters in the comics first, and then
before bringing them to the MCU. Exactly.
Now what I was saying was I think I can see more publishers doing what Ubisoft is currently doing right now with Prince of Persia and what we've seen, but not necessarily more of them going because what Capcom did. And I think Capcom kind of did it more out of desperation, considering where they were at the time they started development of those games. Is that they made like Resident Evil 2 remake was like the budget for that is nowhere near like the budget that we see for like this Prince of Persia game. What I think is what more publishers would do will have a smaller AA size project for us older gamers, knowing that we will be there to buy those kind of games. And they're fine with that. They're fine with like Prince of Persia. The Lost Crown is probably going to sell really great. If it's as high quality as we think it is, it's probably going to do really good, and they're going to be satisfied with that. But that's not going to say, hey, we need to dedicate even more resources into that.
It depends.
Look what happened with Hi-Fi Rush. We finished and we're like, where the hell is the hip hop version? Where is the DLC? They're going to mark my words. The next iteration of Hi-Fi Rush will be bigger and more bombastic because we've demanded it.
Absolutely.
Right?
And
if that
I'll just
happens
add,
here, that may happen with Prince of Persia as well. Go ahead, Umbro.
I agree with you 100%. And we already hearing rumors about, possible DLC because we saw the leak from, Steam about Hi-Fi Rush DLC. So it's more than likely an expansion coming. I think that I get what you're saying, Slow, but like the part of it is that they can rebound from this if they give us and deliver good games. Deliver that great and then build off of it. This is kind of maybe where they have to kind of get on the ground floor back again with Prince of Persia after so many, false starts and things of that nature. Build them back up, and then if it's doing well, put a bigger budget into it, I feel.
So just to add to this, so I think a lot of the reason that we are seeing a lot of these games either look or feel the same is because you cannot take very large swings when you have a budget in the tens or hundreds of millions, right? And so you have to talk to this super wide audience. And what interests me about the lower budget games is that you do see more creativity at that level.
Yes.
And I feel like we got to a point where it was either indie devs or this like AAA stuff, and then the AAA kind of graduated into these service microtransaction hellscape games, and it's almost like the mid-budget games have gone away. So on the two ends, I think it's a positive trend if we just keeping the 2D genre alive. Again, whether it's a top-down action RPG or a beat 'em up or a Metroidvania or a traditional platformer. I'm just glad that those are getting moderate budgets, meaning in the millions, by bigger publishers, and then the things like the Hi-Fi Rushes of the world. That I think that would be considered maybe that, I don't know what it costs, but you would consider that a mid-budget game, right? Couple 10 millions, 10, 20, 30 million,
it's a double A. It's a double A game, yeah.
Right, but
The value in those games is because it takes less time to make those games and you put less budget into it, that you actually wind up with a better profit on those kind of games. Or it's possible to gain decent profit on those games.
Yeah,
Plus,
right.
because they're easier, like they're smaller games, there's ability to put those games to mobile as well. Right? So I think you got to consider that part too. At some point, some of these developers might want to start putting some of these games into mobile space, and it's much easier to move a smaller 2D game over than it is to move
a game that doesn't have so much resource overhead.
And
it has more
Hey,
flexibility.
fellas, give me 2 minutes. The wife needs.
Oh yeah, go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir.
But further than that, further than just the profit side of it, which is fine, and that's the motivation. It's not that like we're getting any money. I mean, I got some Microsoft stock. I got in at $86, by the way. But
me
it's
too.
not that.
I actually got it low.
It is not that, but it is when you have a smaller budget. The people have more freedom for creativity, and they don't have to fit into the cookie cutter. This is what everyone.
You know what I want to know, Evan
You can
Bourne?
make more niche products, and that is what I think is important. And I think we should embrace more of that AA and these 2D style games.
Do you know what I want to know? While we have this interesting, really introspective conversation, what would potentially blow this whole conversation wide open, and we will never know, because as you guys were having this conversation, I was Googling around, I was doing some light research, and there is no data around it anywhere. What was the budget of Breath of the Wild? Because that would blow this conversation wide.
Whatever
open.
the budget was, it didn't warrant $70. Even though
I suspect.
pay it.
No. I said Breath of the Wild, not Tears of the Kingdom. I suspect what we consider double, triple, and all of that, how much they spent on Breath of the Wild will be completely out of sync with that notion. Completely.
Well,
even though
I
it is
do
AAA in every way to us.
No. But the thing is with Switch though, I do think it takes a lot of work to get what you got.
To get what you got, yes.
That
Yes,
hardware,
yes.
right? So
No, of
even though
course.
it's like 12 frames a second at
So
times,
it may very well be that the budget that they use in other games to define the graphical output and have artistry and all
It's
of that,
easier for
instead of that is
optimization and testing
that
and
is
things like that.
sent to the engineers for more optimization and testing. I just want to know what that looks like, right? Because I have a feeling that may blow everyone's mind, and the idea of double, triple, all those A's will be blown when Nintendo tells you what their A count looks like. I have a feeling. Just a thought.
Well,
you know?
I'll go with you down that rabbit hole because we already know they don't break the bank on hardware because they want to make a profit on it. So why wouldn't that also hold true with the game budgets? The only thing though is you have to think of how many people are working on this.
Yeah.
What are all their salaries, and then multiply that by how many years these games take to come out.
So let me take a quick pause first off and say 202 people in the watching live.
And this is a move over.
And this is a move over.
you.
Thank you so much. This is amazing. If you haven't hit the like button, please.
I only see
please
68
consider
likes
doing so.
though.
Yeah, and please hit that like button. Yeah, and if you're not a subscriber to this channel, please consider doing so. We love having you here. We're talking great tech. We're talking games.
J-Mo Money
We're gonna
says
continue doing
202
that.
Sonic haters.
And on that point, J-Mo Money with a $2 super chat saying 17 species of hedgehog, and I hate them all. Well placed, sir.
I ain't never seen a hedgehog I liked.
And we have Victor Haustein with a $2 super chat saying, I think this 2D IP could push into mobile. Yes. And I think he was talking about that with respect to Prince of Persia, which these days your mobile chips are out there. They can really handle a lot. This game is going to mobile most likely.
Speaking of Prince of Persia, another thing is, you may not know this was done by the Rayman Legends team.
Oh, wow.
And
now I'm even more excited.
Now, could we get another Rayman? Another 2D Rayman?
Because they are the best at that stuff. They when Nintendo was kind of getting a little when Nintendo was losing their thread a little bit on Mario, because Mario's always been Mario. He ain't left. He's always been here. But for a while there, they were losing the thread a little bit, and the mantle was kind of for a short window. And please tell me if I'm wrong. You know, let me know. I think that mantle of quintessential platformer was passed on to the team that made the Rayman Legends games and a few of the other Rayman games. And then, of course, they passed that mantle back quickly, and they've been going ever since. So considering that you're saying that this is made by them, oh, yeah, bro, I am even more excited now because their pedigree is not to be denied. They have made great games. I hate Rayman. I dislike Rabbids, but I will play any game they make because it's excellent. And it always is tongue-in-cheek and cute and beautiful, and it's excellent. It's really good.
He says, I don't trust anybody that has hands and feet, but no arms and legs.
I think about it for a second. I'm like,
got a point there, yo.
You know, so yes. So, okay. I love all this conversation that we're having on the edges of what is to be our E3 like coming out. So I think we should get into it. Let's start this show proper. We know what we're playing.
So we're not gonna talk about Liza P and
we ain't going. We're not doing any of that. We're not doing any of that.
We ain't gonna talk about games that we playing on the games podcast.
No, what we're doing is we are talking about last year's showcase and what we want for this year's showcase. That's what we're doing.
I know. That's what we're I know what the problem is. Kay didn't do no gaming this week because you've been.
Oh no, actually, you know what?
You know what? Talk about it.
You know what? If you insist on it, I will show you my 1 hour of Liza P footage because I have that.
You didn't play Diablo 4?
And I also have another hour of Diablo 4. I think I'm at level 30 something. Well, I can only record an hour. I recorded an hour.
Okay. I thought you mean you only played an hour.
But no, I have that footage. It's just I wanted to be so focused here. You know what I'm saying?
I actually only played an hour of Diablo 4.
There you go.
I was trying not to play it until I finished Tears of the Kingdom, and then I got stuck on a boss or a puzzle or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, let me go download Diablo. So
I mean, if you really want to talk for a moment about Liza P, we can definitely do that because I have thoughts. I don't know if you guys have played it. Has anyone played it?
I've played the demo. It's okay. I'm not too impressed though.
I only played it for like maybe not even a half hour because it was like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I said, "This thing downloaded. Let me try it real quick." And then I fell asleep on it, but it was 3 o'clock in the morning, so I don't want to blame that on the game. I got to come back to it.
I was too busy
So-
enjoying Diablo for about 18 hours, like this Peggy 18.
There you go,
was saying.
like a normal person, right?
I would say it for real quick. I think the best thing about it is
and look at
that
the quality
its
looking really
performance
terrible,
might be amazing. It might be the one game to come out this year that's fully polished. Because if it launches the way that demo is, it's people aren't going to have any issues. I played the game on my PC. And the minimum frame rate I got was 163 frames per second.
Yeah, this is a 3080 that you're watching right now, and like it's 140 frames per second, like just the entire time. It is so well
He
optimized.
must have been playing on a Mac, right, Kay?
Oh, bro, stop!
No.
Stop. Let's not do that. Let us not go there. Although, see, look what happens.
Yeah,
I did catch early artifacting.
Some the artifacting in the face. It's like that in the menu too, but it does have like the visuals do look good. Let's speak on them visuals for a moment. Let's speak on them visuals, like and just so people understand who you're talking, who's talking here. I am not a Soulsborne player. I have played many a Soulsborne player. I have almost finished Elden Ring. It's the closest I've come to finishing a Soulsborne.
Oh, you gotta go finish that.
I know. I'm literally at the last boss.
What are you doing?
I'm literally at the last boss. I will finish it.
What were you
doing? But my point. Another game. Yeah. I was testing out the controls.
You know how Kay's gameplay looks, man.
Yeah,
you
man.
remember
Stop your mouth. Stop your mouth.
Yeah,
I will mute you, sir.
We need to put you on journalist mode, bro.
Anyway,
unfortunately, ain't no journalist mode.
There is no journalist mode here. That's right. Needless to say, like I will fully admit that these games come with a lot more, and they have not connected with me as much. I think probably Bloodborne is one of my favorite ones I've played. Right, I really like Bloodborne, and I also liked Elden Ring, even though I didn't finish it. Okay, so take what I'm saying with my bias or whatever, as you say. But to me, this is the best looking Soulsborne of its type. May not play as good, maybe generic, and I'll leave better Soulsborne players to make those determinations. But the look of it, the presentation, just the pure look of it, I have never seen a better looking Soulsborne game than this one. Am I wrong?
Oh yeah, no, it's gorgeous.
I can agree with that. It's a very, very pretty game.
Like
that's
unusually so,
because it's Unreal Engine. By the way, we just want to put that out in slow mo. And in slow mo, I saw that slander earlier. By the way, I had to make sure.
Did you by any chance catch that? Oh no, it's Alex video this morning there, Umbra, where he basically regales the public with how every single Unreal Engine game that was shown off at the game showcase at the Summer Game Fest was literally stuttering while they were showing it. All of them.
He needs glasses. He don't.
They all were. Every single one, and they were all
Keighley's monitors. They were playing bad.
Yes. Keep going. I'm sure Epic has got them checks right for you. Go ahead.
They need to say some of them checks for somebody who can fix the
who can fix the damn stutters. That's right.
Issue. That's what they
damn right. Yeah.
But no,
Shader Cache is ridiculous over here.
This game, it looks great. It doesn't play as good as it looked, unfortunately.
No. It plays and. Yeah, go ahead.
As someone who's like I platinumed Elden Ring, which
you go. Okay.
I played Demon Souls. I'm not the biggest Souls fan, but like I know the format, literally the format of the Souls game, the format of the combat, the enemies that are throughout the demo, and I don't know if this is going to be indicative of how it is with the full release, but it's too few of them, and they're too dumb. Like they are way too easy to.
They telegraph their moves a lot, is what I know.
Yes, it's so easy to just dodge around.
Everyone is a boulder. Everyone is a lumbering tower. Everyone like moves very lumberingly. The whole thing is that way.
And that's not how like Soulsborne games. They're supposed to be difficult before you get to the boss, not like. The boss is the only thing that gives you any kind of difficulty whatsoever.
I mean, cut them some slack. This is, after all, a demo, and the actual game hasn't come out yet. If the game plays exactly this way as well, then the slander is warranted. But it might just be they're dialing it down for approachability in the demo phase.
I'll give them credit too for making such a deep demo. It's like I think somebody was
playing
it
supposedly
for like
there's a lot of bosses in this game. Yeah.
It's like 2 chapters worth or something like that. I heard.
I mean, I would say like you remember the game Thymeria, I think it was called. That was a Soulsborne game as well. Came out last year. That demo was extremely difficult. Like it was not. It gave you a accurate understanding of what to expect from the full release of the game in the demo, so that's why I kind of anticipate or expect like is the actual goal of the demo, not just to kind of show you like what we're working with, but this is what to expect when you get into the game. Like that. Now, it might do them a disservice especially for people who aren't Soulsborne fans. If someone plays this demo, think this might be an easier Souls game, and then you get into the game and it's like double the number of enemies around and they're moving faster, you never know. And everything. Then it's just like you just really kind of misrepresented your game. So usually when I see these demos, I take them for as they are, and this is I would say this: I'm glad it's in Game Pass, because if it wasn't in Game Pass, I wouldn't buy it at launch full price. But because it's in Game Pass, I get to just pick it up. One last thing that I want
to bring up before we'll move on from this one. My question is, why is it that every Soulsborne competitor, somebody that takes that genre and wants to make it all their own, and obviously this is the new studio bringing it, why do they copy everything, including the obscure menu system and the obscure explanations of how things work? Like, you could take the difficulty of the gameplay, you can take all those lessons while still modernizing the UI and telling us what things are and not making it complicated. I feel like they feel, is it me, or do they feel like, hey, in order to make this game what we want it to be, which is the Soulsborne genre, it needs to be one part difficult, one part obscure, weird UI elements. Like,
it's like
why does that have to be a part of it? I don't get it.
It's like they're paying homage to From Software without actually getting it right.
You know what I mean?
All the elements right. Yeah.
All of the elements.
Broke, we ain't gonna fix it.
Exactly, including the parts that are broken that we should fix, in my humble opinion.
Right.
I'm laughing watching your gameplay because you got that sword up ready for your life.
Oh, bro, you know how these games be.
This is definitely not your first time through here, because you knew that you were blocking.
No, this was actually my first time through. Believe it or not, this was my first time through. Because that's how I play Soulsborne games. That's literally, and there's a dude around the corner. There's a dude around the corner. Hold on. No, I swear to you.
You were not blocking going into any other room until you walked into this room with the only enemy. There's
a dude around the corner that I was able to block before, and I didn't even know he was there because I saw him coming before. Because that's what this kind of game is. They sneak up on you. Like, I think it's right here. Look. Look how they telegraph it. Look how they telegraph it. I mean, I saw him coming a mile away. Like, come on.
Just started doing that as soon as it was necessary, but you didn't. No,
sure.
Take 35.
This is definitely take 72.
You know what? You know what? But to your point, Slow-Mo, like, I was able to breeze through this, and you'll see if I played this whole thing, if I showed the whole footage, I was able to breeze through all this over and over and over again until you hit the boss, and then he works you, and then you go back and do it all over again. Then he works you, and then you go back and do it all over again, and then over like 4 times. None of the guys to get to him are a challenge, and they weren't from jump. They just aren't. As you're saying, it's kind of like, believe it or not, has a little bit of weird elements of Atomic Heart, a little bit.
There's a little boss.
There's a mid boss, and then there's a bigger boss. Yeah. Like, none of them. It harkens a little bit to Atomic Heart. A little. I kind of got Atomic Heart vibes as well with the automatons and how they move. It was just, I don't know. I do hear you on the idea that it's uninspired. It looks great, but I don't see it bringing anything new to the table. But then again, I am not the
audience for it.
The audience for this.
I'll say too, though, we have to see more about the story and everything like that.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah.
I like the way. Obviously, I love the way it looks. It's
it looks great. I mean, it's weird, like old English Michael Jackson. That's the first thing I said when I saw this thing. It's very weird. It's old English Michael Jackson. When you zoom in and you see him, he has the glove, the whole thing. Look at it.
MJ does wear those shirts too.
He wears the shirt. He has the glove. The whole thing.
I can see that.
But it's cool. But no, I think it's interesting looking. But I'll leave those who are Soulsborne gamers to tell me if it actually reaches better heights, or if it's a good entry into the genre. I think it's just it seems generic to me.
Yeah, it's so basic, like the combinations when you're hitting enemies, and it might be due to because they kind of give you like 3 different classes to go with. There's like the heavy, there's the balanced, and then the quick, and so it's just like I didn't try all of them. I just tried balance, but it's like balance is so generic. There's nothing, and with other Soulsborne games, you choose a different weapon, it completely changes your animation,
changes everything up.
It changes how you attack. It changes a lot, and it's just.
Well,
If all you get is these three,
Slow, did you get more weapons that you got to try out, or was it just this one?
It was just that weapon.
Okay, because on the trailers we saw he played with different weapon types.
Yeah. So well, he's got that arm too. So I imagine there could be different like combinations of things you can do with like upgrading the arm or something like that. But it's just that I didn't really see that in the demo so far. So
it does look like the arm will be upgradable. They have a section that looks like it's specifically for the arm. So I suspect at least add-ons may be a part of the equation, if not replacing the arm with something else. I haven't seen it yet though, but it looks like they made space for it in the
Did you see the wind up on?
Oh yeah, it's very telegraphed.
Like I can make a sandwich and then dodge before he actually hits me. It's just
okay.
Watching the gameplay, by the way, I saw that you didn't stab the dude in his back, so I know you don't play these that often. So that's
no, exactly. You see,
your parrying, the dude
you
was so slow, you could have parried him and probably took his head off. But
I told you, I'm a single player. You would think I'm a PlayStation player because I like the cinematic, story-driven, blah blah blah. Right? I don't necessarily play a lot of these Soulsbornes, but I liked it. And when the proper game comes out,
you're a Mac player, sir. Tell the people what it is.
He keeps trying to bring the Mac up, but it's not working. Keep it moving, sir. Keep it moving.
Quite fine.
When this game releases properly, I will give it the full effort. I will probably bow out once I get worked one too many times. But so far I'm interested.
What is going on here? It's a Saturday morning.
See,
kids are
you
watching,
brought
sir.
you brought this to PG-13, sir. Oh, it wasn't even that way. But okay.
Peggy 18.
Exactly. On that note, let us move to Peggy 18 and start the actual video proper. Now, let me ask you guys: Do you want to have audio in the background while this goes, or do you just want to talk?
No, we don't need it.
Okay, let's just hit the and I'm just gonna hit the button.
Audio listeners.
Oh, of course. We don't want to regale them with all the sadness that was the last show. The last showcase.
Everything,
but
okay.
I like the last showcase.
It was a great showcase. Come on.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was. It was a decent. It was a decent showcase. It was a decent showcase, but
I think people are speaking
in hindsight.
Your opinion alter mine. It was a great showcase.
I think people are speaking from hindsight because I thought it was a decent showcase.
At the time of that showcase,
immediately after the showcase, I thought it was mediocre, and over time, in hindsight, I think it's even worse considering that like a lot of the
what we've seen since then.
14 games that are shown in this showcase didn't come out within the same. But most of them aren't their fault, but 2 in particular they have to own. So it's just like
it gets one showing right now.
People are already in the chat revolting. No, not Redfall. Oh no.
So I think the 2021 show was fantastic, and it might have been the best show that they had done in like a decade. And a lot of people forget that now because again, recency bias. But in 2022, I think we all said, why the hell would they limit things to the next 12 months? And the only saving grace we said is like, well, at least I'm going to get to play all these games in the next 12 months. And that didn't really work out that way.
Not fully, it didn't. But I agree with you. 2021 was underrated. 2022, I thought was decent.
No, but it wasn't underrated at the time. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's just weird to me that. By the way, the actual game didn't look anything like this.
No, it didn't.
The game does not look like this. Looks good
visually.
Even climbing up the ladder.
You see, and this is why.
Even on a PC with the best hardware, the game does not look like this.
Nothing like
this. Is why I wanted to watch this because I have a feeling we will be like, They sold us an interesting bill of goods on this.
They sold us a dream. They pimped us.
Yeah, baby. This
maybe
what you gonna get.
Maybe this is the build they gave Phil Spencer.
They gave maybe.
Right.
And shout out to the 250 people watching. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't done so. Thank you for being here. We are enjoying ourselves. This is the pre-show, ladies and gentlemen. So this is the tailgate to Sunday. Let's go.
So this also makes it looks like the game has a real story.
But the thing is, I know that like the captain must go down with the ship. And I know Phil went and flayed himself in front of Kind of Funny or whatever.
He opened his heart right in front of Kind of Funny.
He committed seppuku, all of that, right?
All of that. That's right.
But can we talk about the people that were lying to him? And again, he should not let them lie to him or whatever. He should have people in place that would make sure that are keeping people honest, trust but verify. But there was actually people in there lying about this game.
Yep.
Oh, legitimately. But peep this, right?
What about them?
Notice how this they're only showing like 3 sections of the map. It's the same 3 sections over and over again.
Yeah.
And another interesting tidbit, if you listen to the audio here, it makes it seem like you are with your partners all the time, even if you're playing it single player. And I will once again interrupt myself and say, shout out to the 263 people up in here. New benchmark. Salute to everybody in here on a great Saturday morning. This is the tailgate. Big salute to Mr. Boomstick Excel with a $10 super chat saying,
"What's up, Boom?
Xbox Showcase Starfield Direct Christmas Eve. I'm hype AF. Let's go."
Yes, sir.
Welcome, sir. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, this game looks so good here.
Okay.
This is
to
the
your
game
point,
that was promised. We just didn't get this.
Okay, to your point, like, and to what everyone was saying, who were the people that were lying? This is how you make sure that you never get into this kind of situation again. The people that lied to you about this game and lied to us about this game, lied period about the development and what was going on with this game. The people who did the reviews, they're not in the position that they are in anymore, because actions should have consequences. There should be accountability to make sure that you don't go through this kind of situation again, where you're releasing a game and it's woefully not what you represented it to be in marketing, as well as what you anticipated to be for your bare minimum level of quality. And you get those people out the door, the producers as Cinemax Media. I'm so like, yo, bye.
It's a theater again.
Yeah, like, good luck out there. You know, I'm not giving you a letter of recommendation, but good luck. Do what you gotta do.
Interesting.
Letter of recommendation, do not recommend. But that would include the whatever team they use to do their little pre-review, right? They told them that this is good out the door.
The mock reviews,
yeah.
AI is just never turned on.
Isn't it super interesting that with hindsight, knowing what we know now and all the information in Schreier's report, and people thought it should have been this and blah 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 blah, they gave it 6 minutes at the beginning of the show. They were pretty confident in the marketing side of this thing. They really put it out there.
One more thing in 2021.
They really put it out there on Front Street. It's surprising that they did that, knowing what we know now about all this stuff. It's super interesting. Anyway,
this game
so
still ain't out.
Still ain't out. Well, but this you can't blame them for, right?
Yeah, no, this is not their fault at all.
Yeah, the only blame I have for them on this one is, why did you make their timeline your timeline? So then when they fail, you fail.
I hear you. I'll tell you what, they can take all the time they need for this game, because this is going to be a masterpiece.
Yeah, it's going to be a
masterpiece. I don't understand.
For Game Pass, though, right? So
man, it's a W.
Major title,
I just don't understand all of this. All the egg they had on their face could have been avoided if they just said these are coming in 2024.
Yeah,
they didn't have to say 12. Like, what was the purpose
left it
of
alone
that?
like that.
Well, we know why they did it, of course, though, Everborn. Because they had a dry 2022, so they had to say, hey, look, this is what you'll be getting.
They had to do something to build the hype for the game.
They had to. He's right. They had to have Xbox gamers feel like, okay, we're getting nothing right now, but the games are coming soon.
Yep.
If you say 2024, people are like, but dude, it's 2022 and there's nothing here right now.
Yeah,
like,
true.
It don't sound the same,
right? So imagine if this show didn't happen and they never said anything about 12 months. Imagine the sales at that point.
Yep.
They would have
said
all world premiere.
Exactly.
Now that's it. If they would have just did a regular showcase where they show games that's coming out in 2023 as well as the future, then I feel like it's a moot point. No one even cares. Everyone's like, hey, look, I saw Fable and I saw this and I saw Avowed and I also saw the games that were supposed to come out this year that are coming out next year, and I'm happy.
And we can speak on different. And we can speak on games that didn't deliver what it showed. Redfall
This
didn't.
was a great game, right?
This game
This
actually
did.
delivered. Yeah, this
Oh,
actually
yeah.
delivered what it showed you.
Absolutely, and there's DLC coming, which I suspect we'll see tomorrow at some point.
Oh,
This
I
is
love it.
looking
I forgot
interesting.
about
you
that.
know?
I forgot
This,
that
Yes.
was
this,
DLC.
this
Oh.
is the team that I want to see take over Conquer. This is the team.
Ooh,
I've heard
that's an
somebody
interesting
else-
idea.
I heard somebody
Shout
else
out to
say that.
Rain G4 saying with a $2 super chat saying tailgate #tailgate. We here for it, brother. We wish we could do this all day. It's not gonna. We
So
can't do this all
to
day.
me, December with this game is when the sort of the Xbox turnaround started, because I really enjoyed this game.
Yeah,
And
this
then
is when
they
it
followed
started.
Stabby.
It was this, and then right after that in January we got Hi-Fi Rush, and then they started doing bigger games in Game Pass. So to
Yeah.
me, it was this was the mark of the turnaround, and that's why I found it weird where people are like, Redfall comes out,
And the
and
coward
that was supposed to be the start of everything, but I'm like, it didn't. It started with High on Life, right? So Redfall is absolutely a bad day at the office. But let's not pretend Redfall is indicative of everything. I think you need more than Redfall going wrong to say that we don't know that they can deliver. So, like if Redfall and Starfield don't turn out, I think then we can have that conversation.
Yeah.
But I don't think Redfall is enough for the reaction that it got from people. And I definitely felt like all of that sort of anger or whatever should have been. This was the biggest lie that the devil ever told.
So,
Like-
so,
like-
so
and
they had to have
Evermore,
the
about that
queen
lie.
out here
I was about
doing
to say,
Right.
I'm about to say, Everborn and Slow. To that point, right? About that lie, people still to this day righteous pitchfork grabbing smoke about this lie right here. But have you noticed no one ever holds it against the queen?
Well,
How
we
come
know what it
dresses?
is.
How
We
can-
know-
For her
we-
job.
Wait a minute.
We know what happened behind the scenes. They held
know.
her at gunpoint out there. They made her say those things.
No, hold
Those
on.
weren't her
Let
words.
They made her
me
say
take
that.
it a step further. Whenever there's about to be a riot outside, they always send the minority face out there to
Oh,
deliver
no.
the bad news.
No, it's true. It's absolutely true.
Don't do that.
That's
No, it's true. That's very true.
true.
Where's the lie? Where's the lie?
It is
So are you
absolutely
saying Sarah Bond was Operation Human Shield? Is that what you're saying, sir?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Yes.
Oh man, what
How
are we
can you be
doing?
mad seeing that?
The
Gene
numbers
Grant?
back me up.
Oh boy.
Listen,
Look, I'm gonna say
He
this. I'm
also
gonna say this.
had-
Like, I love to see her when she's on screen. But if we see her tomorrow, I'm thinking bad news.
Uh-oh. Why?
So
because every
if-
time
you
she
know
speaks, she brings bad news?
Yeah,
Come on.
she's bringing something that might not actually come to pass. But
Nah,
if
I
you
mean,
see Phil Spencer is going to be like,
It'd be nice.
can't wait to deliver that great news. Or Matt Booty, hey, we just acquired somebody.
Oh,
it'd be that kind
hey,
of.
if
Sarah
Matt
out
Booty
here,
comes out of hiding tomorrow,
yeah, we
it's gonna be
raising
a
the
good
price
day.
on Game Pass.
It's gonna be
But look,
Groundhog Day. If Matt Booty comes out of hiding, it's probably Groundhog Day.
Matt Booty will be there too because he'll be on the after
Hey,
show.
look at
Let's
Sour
pause
Blue
for a
super
moment.
chat.
Oh. Sour Blow Gaming. Sour Blow 18 with a $2 super chat saying the second biggest lie is that the first Sonic outsell Kratos.
Well, that wasn't
Thank you,
so much
Sour
a-
Blow.
That wasn't so
Sour
much a
Blow?
lie.
Still need
That's
Everborn's
delusion.
knees.
That's all that was. It just
Sour Blow,
Look,
please,
and
please
they-
continue to keep the boot on the neck because it is well deserved, sir. Thank you.
And they
Continue.
sent the black guy out to say that. You see, it still works. It still works.
Sonic has
so-
more lasting appeal.
Let's stop for a moment real quick and talk about this right here. So when this was announced, it was big news. Oh my God. It's quietly been festering in the background. I hear it's actually doing really big numbers for them, but we don't hear anything about it. Has anybody heard
Because
anything else
it's all
about
on
it?
PC.
I've
It
heard
is all-
Yes.
you don't hear it from the
Oh, wow.
console guys because the console guys don't
We don't
play
care.
any
Yeah.
of these games.
Yeah.
Now, Valorant in the middle.
It's coming to
is-
PC, right?
It's
Yeah.
coming. It's coming to
Coming to
consoles.
console. Yeah.
What they should do is deliver the biggest bag possible to Riot Games and get that timed exclusive or get
Oh,
some kind
bro,
of perks
you know it's going to be
for
day one Game
Xbox.
Pass, right?
Well, it's a free game.
Yeah,
though.
it's gonna be
So
a
it's,
game.
it's,
Well,
it's-
no, but meaning that because this deal exists, there will be perks and all the perks and stuff that people have been enjoying on the PC side.
Unlock characters, stuff like that.
Like by virtue of having this deal, Valorant becomes automatically a promotional material for Xbox because they'll be giving Game Pass perks. Why would you want to play it anywhere else when you can get Game Pass perks on this thing? Like, it didn't matter when it was all PC to PC people, but as they're bringing it more to console, it's going to start mattering more if you care about Riot Games.
Hey, so they already have that built in, but I feel like they need to get it like timed exclusive to Xbox over PlayStation. One that could kind of help Riot kind of manage the. I don't know if they're doing crossplay, the pitfalls of launching this live service multiplayer game on console, which is different for them from PC. They can kind of work the kinks out on Xbox before they end up throwing it on Switch and PlayStation as well. But it could give Xbox a leg up for a game that's right now just on PC alone has more players, like double the amount of concurrent players than Destiny 2 does on everything.
There you go.
This is one of the biggest games in the world.
There you go. It's quietly just a giant just sitting there, and no one seems to be talking about it. Go ahead.
So let me ask you guys a question. This is a little bit of a change of gears, but I just didn't want to forget this. It's not really related to what we're talking about.
I
did a poll this week. It got a lot of traction. It was over 3,500 votes, I think. If the Game of the Year award was given out now, right? Because we've had a lot of big, highly anticipated games this year, like Hogwarts Legacy, not really for me, but like Diablo 4, like Tears of the Kingdom, right? And Jedi Survivor, if you want to count that. For me, a big one, but I don't know if it would make this list.
I definitely
is Hi-Fi Rush. Like, what would get it right now? If this was December and we had to work on what has already been released, so
Zelda already has that kind of unlocked. But I personally,
Diablo folks are out there.
I personally would give it to Jedi Survivor over it, but I to be fair, I haven't played Zelda yet. I
do a poll in the chat, Kay.
Okay,
so between
Jedi, Zelda, Diablo, and Hogwarts.
But the thing is that's if we do it now. See, the thing is, I always tell people, and I got hounded by this. Actually, no Alex, by the way, who mocked Unreal Engine unfairly.
Oh, he told you a new one, sir.
Yeah,
new one.
Nothing, by the way. You know, the week was slow that week because he just brought me in. All I said was, "Oh man, Starfield got some mad competition with how great Zelda is," and he's like, "Oh, you think?" It's Zelda. And I'm like, okay, all right. But listen, like people ignore the past, right? And you don't to repeat it because Todd Howard has beaten Zelda games twice in Game of the Year. Starfield might be the third.
That's true.
Starfield may be the third. So I don't know why people are so like writing off Starfield the way they are. Starfield
not this Zelda.
Yeah,
not this kind of Zelda.
One, to be fair, but they beat him twice though. See, so it's
not
like
they beat old school Zelda.
Zelda ain't undefeated. Is all I'm trying to say.
Haven't had
all right, so
new
so
school
what
Zelda
are
is
options?
undefeated.
What are our options?
Zelda
We have Tears of the Kingdom.
We'll see. I haven't won
Diablo
anything
4.
Diablo 4. Okay.
Jedi Survivor and Hogwarts. Those were like the biggest games I think.
Hogwarts not even going to get nominated, and y'all know that.
That's not what I heard. I said that already, but that's not what I was hearing from these Harry Potter stands.
The controversy around it is why
it won't be. It's exactly why it won't.
Yeah, it's the excuse they need, so it won't do it. It's the excuse they need, and there's so many more options now. So why bother?
Yep.
So, Game of the Year.
Plague Tale Requiem that they're showing, by the way.
Great.
And some people are saying
60 frames now.
60 frames per second now.
60 frames now. Yeah.
Much love to Sobo. I hope
check the chat. Check the chat for the poll.
By the way,
we have Game of the Year. We have the options are Tears of the Kingdom. We have Diablo 4. We have Jedi Survivor and Hogwarts. Which one's taking it? Let's go.
I don't even know if I can vote on this.
So with 3,500 votes, this is wild because it's not. It wasn't a small sample set. Both Tears of the Kingdom and Diablo 4 both got 41%.
What is recency
bias? On
yours.
That's
That's recency bias.
much
Dead
bias.
heat.
Yeah, that's recency bias.
Okay.
Diablo 4 is
People will
excellent.
feel differently in November.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Diablo
Sure.
4 is excellent.
But
so
I'm
I
just
feel them on it, but I don't know if I can put it over Jedi Survivor just I don't
No,
know.
no, no. But what I'm getting at is how close they came out close together. So you would think those would be high. What's more fascinating to me is that they were both neck and neck in what people thought, right, between Tears of the Kingdom and Diablo.
Let's let this list. Let's let this poll fester a little bit and check back in on it in a few. Let me quickly regale us. Let's get back on topic on the screen here. We just
Another
saw
lie. Coming
Motorsport.
spring 2023.
Yeah, we saw another one that was pulled. Now the question is, we will see this tomorrow. That's almost guaranteed. Are we blown away?
Guaranteed.
Are we blown away by what we see? That's the question I have to ask.
Okay, that's something I want to talk about with this show for the barometer of this show, right? So I give Bethesda and ZeniMax or whatever, I give them a little bit of a pass because you could say Microsoft has all the money in the world. You can say it's been 2 years, but we know that whatever ZeniMax, whatever games they had in the pipeline, they from their inception, they did not have this hardware in mind, right? We know that they were built. They were not built.
They were
and
being built third
greenlit
party.
Right, exactly. So what I'm gonna look for is specifically from Xbox Game Studios. There was so many studios that were purchased in 2018, right? Now is the time where I want Xbox Game Studios to show us what this hardware can do. And it looks like Turn 10 is doing that. But I always get weird with people blaming third-party studios and publishers or whatever for not showing us what the box can do.
Yes.
How can you expect them to do it if Microsoft doesn't?
I love it whenever Born Saga uses my arguments. It's a beautiful thing. It's
I would be shocked if we see a single game at this showcase that is running on the Xbox Series X. I will be shocked.
Ooh. You know what, Slow? I bet you, and we'll do this right now, I bet you that at this show tomorrow, you will at least see one game that says captured on Series X.
This game,
at least one. And you will see it. Ooh, and while you got these bets, while we have this bet going, salute to the 301 people watching concurrently right now, the new limit.
Okay.
And they're all here to hear us make this bet. When I tell you that there will be at least one game. Okay. One game. It'll say captured on Series X.
If no games are captured on Series X, next week, I want you to show up and I want your name on the podcast to be Steam Deck Valve employee. That's what I want your name.
Okay. Yes. So the whole episode will be Steam Deck Valve.
You know what would hurt more? If he said ROG Ally greater than that would hurt his soul.
Take that bet, man. Take that bet.
I'm gonna take the bet. And if we see at least one saying captured by on Series X or Series S, at least one. If you see just one,
Series S. Come on now.
S or X.
Okay,
it doesn't matter. Or even PC. It'll even say but. They will show you captured by.
I would expect to see everything. Say
captured PC.
The thing is that,
okay, so you're talking about X specifically.
Yeah, because like sometimes it'll say this is actual gameplay, but I don't know if they'll actually say this is gameplay being captured on a PC. Because we know how they roll. Everything they show.
Now let's be clear about the
PC.
Let's be clear about the logistics of this bet, okay? They can cheat like PlayStation cheats, because PlayStation does captured on PS5, but it could be a PS5 dev kit and you don't even know. Right. They can say captured on Series X and that's enough, but they have to say captured on Series X.
Right, they have to say captured on Series X. Right.
Okay. And if I win, you will come here and on your hold on. If I win, you will come here and you will change your logo from instead of slapping Sonic, you will change your logo from the blue hand of Sonic slapping you in the face. A picture of you in the face.
Oh my god!
Listen, if you need an artist to commission that, I will pay for it.
You know what I'm saying?
And I tell the artist I will pay them extra for more detail.
If we
It
want to
needs to
cut
be
deep,
Sonic's hand just doing the slap.
yeah. Oh, the blue hand. If you want to cut deep, we're cutting deep. If I lose, I'll be here. I'll be. You know, my whatever you want me to write, I will. But if you lose, you will come here on this show. It'll be a cartoon of you being slapped in the face by the blue hand of Sonic.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
So,
You heard it here first. 304 people in the chat.
So I am still of the mind that when you're showing these games at the show, you show them in the best light. Like you don't
Of
lie,
course, yeah.
Like they did with Redfall.
Yeah.
But I do think I don't care if they're showing it on a PC and and that ends up looking better than what you get as long as it's close enough, right?
Sure,
Don't show me 60 if I can't get 60, right?
See, but you know the reason why.
I believe if they can run it on the PC, then they should show it on that so it looks the best that it can look.
But you know the reason why I'm confident.
What
you know why I'm
won't count is
confident
when they do
that
whole.
Go ahead.
What won't count
No,
is when they do that whole running on a PC mimicking
Uh-huh.
Xbox Series X settings or something like that. Like,
They
no,
won't
it's
say
still
all that.
running
I
on
don't
the
think you'll
PC.
get all those details.
But
I
no,
don't think
we've heard that before, though. We've seen that before. I can't remember which game, but we've seen it. It's running on a PC, but it's running the settings of what you expect from an Xbox
of a console
Series X.
would be. Yeah.
That's still not running on the console.
It's still not right because it could breach that boundary anytime and you wouldn't know it. You know.
Right. So, but what my earlier point, how that even led us onto this tangent. When I say show me what the box can do, that might have been the wrong choice of words. What I want to see is that Microsoft or Xbox first party studios, specifically Xbox Game Studios, because they've had enough time now. I want to see that they can give us the same level of visual fidelity and art that we regularly see from Sony, and they should be able to at least meet it, but surpass it, right?
No,
and
I
it's not
agree
just
with you. Yeah.
and it's not just Hellblade and Forza. I need to see at least 2 or 3 other games that do that, whether that's Avowed or whatever Compulsion is working on, or if the Coalition is there. That's what I want to see, because I believe the box can do these things, and we've given them latitude, but now that's what I want to see, and that's going to be my barometer, or one of my barometers for success. At this point, they should show us what their box can actually do, and don't blame it on, we want to let creators create, and games are games. Yes, games are games.
That's true, but first party you should let them
play at this level as well.
Yeah. So the reason why I am so confident that I will win this bet with Slow-Mo is because of what I've heard Infinite Umbra say, because of what I've heard actually what I've heard Slow-Mo himself say. And we all know Xbox, unlike most, listen very carefully to a lot of these podcasts and all these things.
True.
And the sentiment in the last, I don't know what, 2-3 months is, Xbox console players feel like second-class citizens. They will show you at least one that's shining brightly to say that runs on Series X, just to make you feel like you are part of the conversation.
I dare say they're going to show everything on Xbox.
No, absolutely not. Because look, it takes months in order to get these games that are not fully ready yet to be prepared to look good at a showcase, right? It takes time when they're developing a game. We don't see it with all the textures, all the special effects, all the visuals, all that stuff. We don't see any of that, right? We don't see any of that stuff ahead of time. So it takes a long time for them to get the game prepared to be shown.
True.
And in order for them to make the decision to show it on a game on the Xbox Series X, they would have had to make that decision months ago. And
you also remember the Phil Spencer
reaction to how
that,
people. Right? It can't be a reation to how people feel about Redfall.
But you remember Phil's comments about that, right?
$1,000 from you. Bro, you ain't got $1,000 to take from anybody. Stop the cap.
I mean,
like,
the thing is,
capping, bro.
The thing is, though, Slow, like,
I ain't gonna see
sure,
you
this
again
might not be
when you
necessarily a
lose.
reaction off of Redfall, but the thing is, 6 months out, I think they said they started these things. They already knew they had a slow year. They know they have to showcase this game. They know they have to showcase Xbox. They heard those complaints back then. They didn't see these games running on.
Ooh, I hear delay.
We didn't hear these. We didn't see these games running on X. Yeah, it was Pixel, but we didn't see these games running on Xbox. We know we didn't see, these games looking like the super AAAs we wanted to see. I think they're going to, for that reason, showcase these games in a really bright light. And it's not like it's developers stepping away to do this. They have separate people making these types of trailers and slices for us to see. So I expect it to be really great.
So shout out to the man Gerald Mack with a $5 super chat. He says, are these invites to these theaters is something that Microsoft does frequently, or is this different from the norm? If I'm not mistaken,
it's different from the norm. I don't think they've done this. At least
they
not
did
in a
this.
while.
They did this. They've done this before, but it's not the norm. Yeah, they've done this before where they let you go to the theaters and watch it. I think during not the first one in COVID, but the second one within the COVID period, they did let you go to theaters to go see and stuff like that. But it's a cool idea, you know. You may not be at the fan fest proper, but you're in a room with like-minded individuals. Hopefully that spurs you guys and gives you that E3 feeling. It's a cool idea, I think. I think. It's
I wonder how many will actually go and do that. But
yeah, me too.
I mean, we know it's just a big marketing push anyway, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
This is what they should be doing.
Yeah.
I mean, look. You can still have the games show well and had them still running on the PC. I mean, I'm not saying like us having this discussion. I see some people in the chat acting like, oh well, that means that you're saying that the game isn't going to run well on the Xbox. Not at all. It's just that like we know traditionally they always show these games running on PC. They always show their games. They show gameplay. It's always running on a PC. Or when they show it running in engine, it's always running on a PC. So like that's usually how they roll. So
let me ask you, how much would that hurt you all if it did say that it was running on PC versus Xbox?
Let me answer that one, and I'd say this as a console peasant, as you guys would like to call
as a
me.
troglodyte. Continue, yes.
Right? I don't care at all. I think you show it the best it could possibly look. The game is not only on Xbox; it is across those platforms. Right? We don't think there's any obligation to say this was captured on a Series S. Aside from Kay Asante thinks that nonsense, but most people would say show it in the best light, right? So if the game comes out on, let's say it's a cross-platform or cross-gen game, you don't expect them to show you the Xbox One version. You expect them to show you the best version of it. So if the best version is on PC and that's what comes out day and date, show that. You have the option to get it like that. I'm going to play it for the convenience. I'm going to play it on the console, but I think you should show it the best way.
I don't care either. I don't care either.
Yeah,
but
no, show it on an M2 as a matter of fact. Right, Kay?
Stop it. I don't care either. But there are console gamers, and I will let you speak, Infinite Umbra, because you have made voice to this, that feel like when they keep doing that, when that's the default speed, it makes console people feel less than appreciated or less than marketed.
Don't those console people know what they were getting already if they wanted that? If they want to look like that.
Oh, see, I love when
there's a PC build for them.
Everborn Saga likes to be slanderous and then uses my own talking points. What are we doing here right now?
Y'all rubbing off on each other. Pause. But the thing is, wow, I gave it a pause. A timely pause. Listen.
What are your thoughts, Umbra? What are your thoughts?
I do feel you on that, and I did say because at a point it started to look like Xbox. They kind of lost the plot a bit.
And you're not the only one I heard say this. I've heard very earnest people, because I know people get disingenuous and they talk out of both sides of their mouth. I've heard you say it. I've heard other people say it that I trust in this environment. Yeah. You're speaking your mind. You're speaking your truth, and you're not being trolly or whatever. You're not scoring points. People, by and large, who are mainly console gamers, when they keep seeing on PC, even though I know it's because it's convenient for the platform to do so, because it's easy, we didn't have to optimize it, it's on PC, there you go.
Yeah.
To the console gamer, it feels like they lost a seat at the table. Am I wrong about that?
No, you're not wrong. And I think that's what we started to get the feeling of, and it really, I think also it didn't help that we weren't seeing things that was really showcasing for us. We had a drought, like as far as major games. So it made it, I think it compounded on top of that.
Yeah.
So see, and they did a specific push, Microsoft, for PC, and I get why. It's not wrong for them to do that, but it just made a lot of people in the community feel like we were kind of second-class citizens for a minute. But I think they're going to correct it. And I think personally,
that's the reason why I think you'll see captured on Series X.
That's why I think so too. Exactly. I think
because they want to make you feel like you're here.
Aaron spoke on it. He said they're going to have them properly labeled and so on and so forth. I think they're going to say, hey, Series X, this is copied or at least presented off Series X. I think we're going to see that a lot.
See, now I think, and Everborn, you can correct me if I'm wrong here. I think what Everborn is saying is, they can capture, they can show you the caption, but all the captions will continue to say is show it on PC, show it on PC, show it on PC. Which, if that is what they do, will speak more to what Umbra is saying, making console players feel like they're second-class citizens, even though you, Everborn, don't feel the same way.
But when did that narrative start, though? Because they were doing this when I went to E3 in like 2017, when they first showed, what was it, Forza 7, I guess, was running on either PC or dev kits at the show, right? Yeah. So they always were doing that at the E3 shows. And for the most part, Microsoft has been consistent where, outside of Redfall, most of the games that they've shown at E3 that are running on PC with quote unquote Xbox settings, when they hit Xbox, they actually look very close to exactly what was shown. It's not like they add additional features. So my question is, when did the narrative start to be a big thing?
That narrative started, I think, shortly after when we had the drought, and then you started seeing PC only games that we couldn't get. I think it was something else too.
I will honestly say that since I would say since two E3s, since two showcases ago, where they have where they broke PC Game Pass into its own name and started putting games there that don't come on console players have been annoyed, but have been okay. But then more and more, when we headed to the drought, that annoyance and then seeing PC only games show up turned into a thing.
Yeah, but
they have been annoyed since day one that the platform has started getting their own thing.
But I think
you're talking on mute, Everborn.
It also became a bigger thing because they haven't had games that actually use the hardware, right?
Yes,
Everborn was saying, right? So I think in terms of the games, we know Forza will be the benchmark game for things that use the hardware, right? That's gonna pull out most of the tricks because the Forza tech engine is the one that they always use to push the Xbox hardware, right? So at the very least, we know that game will show up. It's just we can't expect Starfield to be doing much of it because it wasn't designed as an Xbox game to begin with.
I agree. Yeah, and about the labeling thing, for me, just label it. I don't care what you're showing it as. I would think it'd be great for console players to finally see their console represented and looking amazing after you've seen such amazing footage, for them to say, oh, wow, this was for your console. You'll go, wow, right? Great
that's
for
why
you.
I think Forza would be the one that you...
That's why I think Forza as well. But besides that, in general... just label it. It'll make certain people, it'll appease certain people, and we'll move forward. I don't care.
So, you label it clearly, I think it shouldn't be much of a problem. But I think they're going to show.
Aaron said they would do that. Aaron said they would be labeling everything clearly. So hopefully that's the case, and there's nothing.
Yeah. So like right here, this thing says all in-game 4K footage.
4K footage, yes.
Yeah.
So, but this is PC 4K in-game footage, right? Most likely.
But the thing is, so Pixel, to your question, I think this really was birthed from all the Digital Foundry comparisons, and now people really just want something that they can say, you got me hype off of these marketing materials saying 12 teraflops and ray tracing cores and all these things, and I'm looking at these comparisons, which again don't really affect your gameplay, but here we are. I'm looking at all these comparisons, and the one that's only 9 point whatever teraflops at times, because it seems like we always ignore when the Xbox outperforms the PlayStation, but it's like a news article when PlayStation outperforms Xbox.
I always
but whatever
outperform when you're usually running at a lower resolution, but okay.
That's the fair point too.
Pixelbit, stop with the context, okay? People don't like that. Move on.
I will point out, I think everyone has a point there too. I do think that was part of the discourse because a lot of our Hoove brothers definitely brought in a lot of the, the DF articles and videos. And I think a lot of Xbox fans probably took that and it turned because it was like, well, they're getting treated better on PC, even though PC clearly outdoes any console.
One second. That game that they just showed, that version of Forza, actually was a case where they showed the PC version with features that are not on Xbox.
Yeah.
That game, right?
That
version of it had the ray tracing running.
Yeah,
So-
of course.
So what I look at when I see these in-game things and I see these demos, I think you should demo it on the PC because it'll look the best. And that's what it will be best for your marketing, and people will share that, and it will look it should look close enough. But my main concern when you show me gameplay is that I need to understand that this will be the experience when I'm playing the game.
You mean
Not
Vin Diesel
necessarily
all
the
about the
specific
family experience?
pixels or whatever. No. But like, so we just talked about Redfall, right? And they gave you this
I'm just clowning you,
impression
bro.
that
Ready
there was
at
this
2020.
big story, and then your partners would be next to you, and there would be banter going on around all of that. What they showed you is not really
Sure.
Forget about the performance. The experience is not what was showed, and so that's what I think is above anything. If the experience is going to be the same, but you don't have as much resolution, who cares? In my opinion, right? So that's the purpose of show me in gameplay, because I want to see what it's going to feel like to play this game. I want to
They
see what
did
the art
deliver
style
this
is.
one. They
I
did
was going to
deliver
say,
this
speaking
one.
of
They
speaking of
they should
in-game
have
play,
undelivered this
Oh
one.
boy!
Ugh.
Look at this one.
as
Oh,
creepy
no,
as this
no.
game was and
Oh.
as odd as it was,
Oh.
I actually slightly enjoyed it. I beat it.
Visual,
I was forced to play this game for 5 hours
Mhm.
on my channel, and it was 5 hours I wish I had back. Actually, I think it wasn't 5 hours. It was,
It's a very-
three.
it's a very
it was 3
uncomfortable.
hours. So I
It's a
A
wish
very
I had all three of
uncomfortable
them
game.
back.
Yeah,
It's a very uncomfortable game,
but it is visually gorgeous in its own way. Aesthetically, I mean, it's creepy as hell. No, I mean, I enjoyed, and of course, it was on Unreal Engine, so you know. It's
Oh God!
On
it's-
PC, on PC,
Moving quickly along,
there
Pixel.
were shaders that were missing on PC.
Yeah,
and,
true.
and significant, like a lot of shaders missing all over the place.
Well, we didn't
Like,
have that as experience on the Xbox.
Talk about it.
So I'm
Talk
just,
about it.
Just
you-
saying.
you, you also ain't have no frames either. Let's talk about that too.
Man.
We got trade-offs here. You want pixels with no frames?
Which one do you want?
frames with
Frames
no
with no
pixels?
pixels.
Pixel bit. That's for you to step in.
There you go, Pixel. What you got?
I'm sorry. Wait. Pixels with no frames. What was that?
Talking about scoring.
Oh,
scoring.
It's about
man.
scoring. Yeah.
I mean, it was a pretty game. It just was boring.
Yeah.
Real
It
boring.
was just boring. There you go. There you go.
This right here is one of my top 3 of the showcase right here.
This is
Actually,
Flintlock, right?
Flintlock. Yeah.
Extremely
This one
excited for this.
still isn't out, right?
It comes out, I
one of-
think, in August. I think they said something
Yeah,
like
it's still
that.
looking great. I'm still excited to play it. Yeah.
Yeah, this
Absolutely.
one looks cool. I like what the game design looks like. You know, hopefully it performs well. And everything.
Looks like what Forspoken should have been, but we
Yeah.
talk about
No.
that later.
Hey. The exaggerated swag of a black fantasy character. Look at that.
Yes. And within the first 5 minutes, you didn't see them get robbed at gunpoint, use drugs, or get arrested. I'm sorry.
With the
Did I
gun
just say
turned
that?
sideways. Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
I cannot defend Forspoken's ridiculous story. Like, I did not like the story. I beat the game. Didn't like the story. Didn't like. I think the main protagonist. She's so annoying.
Poorly written.
She spends the entire game like this is every conversation almost, ad nauseum to all about the game. I'm only helping you because it's what I need to do to get out of here. And I don't care about any of you people. This is what she basically repeats in various other words all throughout.
So
the
she
entire
went to
game.
the school of Aloy.
Oh, here we go.
No,
I knew
Aloy
it.
doesn't even do that.
I knew
Aloy
Liquid.
just goes-
I knew Gaming NyQuil would show up at some point. Go ahead.
Aloy is just like,
Gaming
oh,
NyQuil.
you need help with that. Okay,
Go ahead.
like it's just like this. She has a personality. It just stinks.
Man,
Now the combat though,
Yeah.
I really thoroughly enjoyed the combat. I thought the combat was cool.
I didn't
That's
get far
the-
enough
that's
to
good
fully
positive.
experience the combat slow, but I played like 3 hours of it on my PS5. I absolutely did not enjoy the game. I will say the parkour was kind of fun.
Yeah,
That's
I
about
was
it.
too busy playing Hi-Fi Rush when that came out.
Yeah,
There you
well,
go.
I moved on to Hi-Fi Rush too. Loved it.
So this came out from the makers of Minecraft. Did anybody play it?
I didn't.
Nope.
No, I know buddies that did. They liked it, but it
Yeah?
wasn't the greatest to them either.
Okay. How about the chat?
the
Anybody
reviews were
anybody
kinda-
opt for this or what?
In
Which
the
one is
70s.
this? Dungeons or
This is Legends.
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 is-
I actually
Yeah.
like it. It actually gets pretty complicated later on in the game. get pretty exciting. But it's a little game. So
what were the criticisms for why I didn't review as well?
So I heard that maybe they didn't play it long enough, but from what I saw is they were saying like the strategy of it kind of doesn't feel good after a while. It's like it's novel at first, and then
it was too difficult later on.
No. They're just saying it doesn't scale well, but maybe they didn't finish playing it. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's just
most of the stuff I heard was that
not finishing playing games is not something that's.
Most of what I heard was that the whole campaign was basically a tutorial to multiplayer. And it got boring after a while.
Now that I can understand that being a major criticism.
Yeah, that's what I heard. But and also
like
another major
fighting
criticism. Games? True, but no, all fighting games have Mortal Kombat, which does it in the brilliance of ways. But that's different. I also heard, which also I think is a righteous criticism, that this game style negates what Minecraft is, which is a very simplistic, ready to jump in, anybody can jump in game, and then you see the depth scale. Whereas this one starts difficult for a kid.
Yeah, so people my kid is playing this game. He's like 7. So like I don't understand. Well, people.
So what you're saying is that notion that it's not as pick up and play because of strategy. It's
so there was one review who was like, "Oh, the control scheme is so complicated. It's literally 4 buttons and like a RB, like RB plus button."
Well, can I say something else?
Gentlemen, well, I will let you speak, Everborn, but before I do, I must take a moment and thank Mr. Chunky Sonic Still Sucks because he has to leave us, unfortunately. Yeah. And when he comes back next time, he will most likely be Sonic getting slapped by Slow-Mo.
No, most likely it would be just Asante. Actually,
send
almost
the invoice
want you to also have a Valve shirt on too. I want you to have like a Valve T-shirt on too.
Soon it will be Sonic slapping Slow-Mo. We shall see.
Okay. Listen, like I said, Slow-Mo, tell the artist send his invoice to me. I will pay for all of this commission work. Whatever the
Slow-Mo slapping.
No need. I'm definitely winning this. Y'all not
and the best
Xbox
and the best
Series
part
X
about it is
anything.
Maybe we'll get intricate and have Sonic looking at the camera like when he's slapping Slow-Mo. We'll see how it goes. We'll get
Slow-Mo, before
details.
you go, just give us your not knowing anything about the show.
Yes.
What do you expect your rating?
Well, that's the thing. Start, end. Rating.
Well, he doesn't.
What starts the show? What ends the show? No, right now. What starts the show? What ends the show? What's your rating? Go.
What starts the show is Hellblade 2 gameplay on PC, of course.
As they should.
We would get see actual combat, and then we will also get a release date for the game.
Will it be running on Xbox?
The show?
Will it be running on Xbox?
Oh no! I already said it's
he's gonna run it on PC.
It's running on PC.
Okay, what ends the show?
What ends the show is Fable. Would be not necessarily actual like gameplay, but like in-engine footage
stuff. Okay,
in-engine footage, which also is PC. And but we will at least get to see what Fable looks like and what to expect from the game, and it will be a lengthy trailer, kind of explain the story and stuff. Rating. A B. I'll say it'd probably be a B.
Give me a number.
1 to 10.
What's the B?
8.5?
An 8.
Okay, so you're projecting an 8. Okay.
Now we'll see how much higher or lower
that gets. Yes.
Track. So after
the man Slow-Mo backslap jumping in here last minute, offering that awesome slander as you do, sir. We appreciate you being here. We will see you next time, and we'll talk after the show. You know, I'm sure we'll catch you. We'll catch you in these streets talking about what's going on, what we got to see and all that. I'm sure.
I'm actually going on vacation tomorrow, and I'll be on the road during the show. So I'll probably end up catching the replay and seeing the replay of my W.
Yeah. But, watch it, and then get your artist started on the grip that is Sonic's hand, just like punching you in the grip. Good chat with you, brother.
Have a good trip, man.
All right, thank you.
Go ahead, Everboy. You were saying?
No, the thing I wanted to say is let's not pretend this mind again, not for me, but let's not pretend it didn't get a 77, and let's stop pretending a 77 is a bad game.
Fact.
And let's
I
be
agree
clear.
with
I'm not even saying it's a bad game. I forget the numbers. We should pull that up. But like, I think Aaron Greenberg or somebody posted like it reached at least 3 million. I think it was either 3 or 5 million players. Like it's out there. It's Minecraft, obviously, and it's even this one that people are having issues with hit astronomical numbers. So no one should be giving this thing short shrift. I just wanted to know if people played it.
People had issues with High on Life, right? So
Yeah.
you know, if it doesn't fit the mold that they want, it's not good. But it's a solid game.
Salute to the freaking Riskin for the biscuit. What's going on? How you doing in LA?
Under.
He's not down under right now, man. He's breathing that LA air, baby. He's breathing that LA air. I hope you're having fun out there, brother. I saw you on the show. It was fun, seeing you guys in the front row. Salute to you guys.
Yeah, Riskin said he's going to be the first Australian Crip, so he's fast on his way.
I
want to see pictures
to go talk to those regulators over there in Australia for delaying that ABK thing. We're not going to talk about
he's
that.
busy.
Anyway.
He's busy gaming right now. He's not where he's not home.
He's having the time of his life out there.
For all of this, like, can Xbox deliver that where there's a question about it, right? It's weird to me because every game they've released since 2019 has been mid to high 80s, or almost every first party game, right? And then even if we're talking about what 2023 has been, let's forget about Hi-Fi Rush for a second, because that's the easy one to go with, even though some people would like you to believe that it failed. In December, we got High on Life, which ended up being a smash hit, 7.5 million players. Then all these drops in Game Pass. We saw how many millions of players? What was it, 5 million in Atomic Heart? And then you had you had another 3 million in Wolong. And then in a week, Minecraft Legends did 3.5 million.
You got to step back a bit though, Everborn. You also had Monster Hunter in January, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Right. And again, even in November, I think it was November, maybe it was October, but November you had.
But all this proves your point that you guys are giving voice to the minority that seems to try to insist that the Xbox got no games or got no quality games, but you keep pointing out how wrong they are. Yes, they are wrong.
And don't forget, they had Plague Tale Requiem right before what do you call it? And
salute to the insipid ghost who's in the chat right now. What's going on, sir? Xbox expansion pass. I'm looking forward to the episode after the showcase. Thank you for being here. I'm sorry, everyone. Go ahead.
And they brought in Deathloop also last year, and Ghostwire Tokyo was in March. So this idea of we don't know what they're going to do, or they need to prove that they can do it. Where is that really? What is that being driven by? Because it's not the facts. It's not the numbers either.
Yep.
So you have one horrible failure with Redfall, but that whole thing of whether you want to say sky is falling or all of those stuff, and I'm not even talking about the regulars. I'm talking about the Xbox guys that was on the Fire Phil train. Are they still going to say Fire Phil after tomorrow?
You mean the guys who weren't holding the line already? Come on. like some of these dudes be really on that, I'm in the middle all the time or whatever, or I'm overly concerned. I'm not sure if it's for clicks or what it is, right? But some of it may be genuine, but I don't see what issue they're having. If you've been gaming on Xbox this year, especially via Game Pass,
you should have no issues.
Games, you've been
you can say you're not you want more first parties. That's genuine. That's
absolutely
honest. Sure.
Absolutely.
But to say there are no games at all, you're not paying attention.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the line I draw at. And I think some people overreact, but I will point out the first party is the issue, is that we know that we're getting games on Game Pass and all that. So if you're a Game Pass subscriber in particular, you don't have a lot to complain about.
I didn't know these existed, but thanks to Rodimus for pointing them out.
Oh,
Ponybots.
Talking about that all the time.
Okay, I did not know that. All right, Ponybots.
The post Redfall, the grass was cut.
And you
Saw
know what
the
happens
snake
when you
tongue.
cut?
We are still PG-13, ladies and gentlemen.
I didn't
But
say anything.
I know you didn't. Let's get back on what we're looking at here.
This game like, at least the last 3 of these games did come out and were actually
They did, yes. We're watching them pass us by. Even Naraka has made a big splash on
big,
Xbox.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm terrible at it, but yeah, I mean,
It's a fun game. It's cool, you know.
It wasn't for me
Yeah.
personally. I do like the way it looks though. But
Yeah.
but a lot of people enjoyed it though, so it is what it is.
Mm.
But not everything's
And-
for everybody. But I think, like again, for the whole situation is that if you're a Game Pass, you were eating. We're all eating if you're on Game Pass, right? It's just that first party wasn't delivering. So I understood some of the reactions. I will say though that it was overreaction. So
Yeah.
I do agree with Pixel and Everborn on that part. So I think people just have to kind of pull it back a bit.
But no, this game did what it was supposed to do. People loved it and all that. You know, go ahead.
I will come back to it. The Redfall reaction again.
Oh, stop
bad game.
harping on people.
No.
You
Forget
know,
about that.
they're
Forget
being
about that.
disingenuous.
Forget about that. I'm just saying the negative air that was around Xbox at that time.
Yeah.
It was really because of the CMA blocking the deal, and people were in their feelings about that. And then you couple that with the bad release, and then because we only live in the moment. So now I'm saying all this to say, watch how the sentiment changes tomorrow.
World premiere. Oh my
World
God, is this the
premiere.
world
Unless
premiere
they
that I
fall
think?
on their face again.
Yeah.
Right.
Hold on. Like this. Oh my God.
Pentiment. Now, real
I
talk,
remember the reaction to this.
Oh, the reaction there. It was amazing.
what this game was. Nobody could find, but when they opened up that book and we saw that first image, everybody said, hey, yo.
Shout out to the
remember-
mag. His
Yeah.
response was clap.
That's
What
I
is
remember.
this?
Hold on. Wait a minute. I got you. What if the one more thing tomorrow is Pentiment 2?
Oh my goodness.
Man, it better not be.
That's
I
on the
enjoy-
level of knack 2. What are we doing here?
I actually enjoy
That's
Pentiment, but this,
exactly what will be the reaction tomorrow if there's a part 2. What's
I
going on here?
I enjoy Pentiment a lot. I enjoy it as Dust Falls a lot, which I already showed. But this had better not be a part 2 shown at the end of it. Oh, and one more thing. Pentiment, no,
Well,
get out of here.
so
Hey,
there
Max
is
City
one thing I
Entertainment in
wanna
the
say.
chat agreeing with you. Game was fire. It was a
I
good
enjoyed
game.
it.
People enjoyed it.
It's
Yeah.
actually a good game. I
Listen,
will agree.
just like As Dust Falls, right?
Yes.
So I'm not. So this is the thing. I love that that Xbox is doing these kinds of games, and it does show that they have a focus on creativity and a focus on quality for the most part.
Creativity,
I-
quality, and like
so-
differentiating themselves, like having a plethora of different
Right.
offerings.
The issue is that they have been missing. They had been in 2022. They had been missing on the AAA. You know,
Bang.
right. And so I think if this show, we can show that they can do that while not forgetting about the Pentiments and the Groundeds and the things of the world. I think we will all be the better for it. So I do want to see some Pentiment level. This is a passion project.
I agree with you
And I do want to see that tomorrow.
Yeah, I want to see more of
But
that.
we
yes.
also need to see. We
Some
need to see what
AAAs.
we've been waiting on.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
And they gotta walk and chew gum at the same time. So like I was saying before, my barometer, aside from Forza and Hellblade, I want to see 3 games that are
So,
at the level production.
Quick
wise
question.
of what
do
we
we
get from Sony.
think Pentiment
100% agree.
and Hi-Fi Rush have similar budgets?
Do we think what?
Pentiment and Hi-Fi
Pentiment
Rush?
and
Absolutely
Hi-Fi
not.
Rush.
I think Hi-Fi has
Grounded
the
and-
higher budget.
I think Grounded and Hi-Fi Rush probably have.
Okay,
similar
so
budgets.
Grounded and Hi-Fi Rush. Okay, okay.
I would
can see
even.
that. Okay.
I can kind of see that, but I think Hi-Fi has a bigger budget even than Grounded because there's so many little people working on.
Yeah,
Grounded.
a lot of people don't understand the production value that's in that. They just see cell shaded and they're like, oh,
Oh, no,
AA.
no,
But if
I
you look at
understand,
the
of
set
course, yeah.
pieces and
Yeah.
all the things that went into that. If for those that beat the game, you know that the production value on that game is crazy. And so I struggle to call it a AA.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Right?
absolutely, yeah,
Because,
absolutely.
so that is the and I don't know if there's such a thing as a 2.5A
What's that?
or whatever we call it, but I don't think you can relegate that to a AA. Not with that
the production value that they had.
On the
Double-
topic of
double
what's
A
on the
plus
screen
A.
here, on
Yeah.
the topic of what's on the screen here, do we think we see this tomorrow?
It's possible they'll have an update, I guess. Yeah.
So Umbra, I was saying to Kay a couple of weeks ago, I think, first of all, it's a 90-minute show, right? Before we get to Starfield. I think that unlike the competition, the thing that Xbox is good at is making these service games, right? And supporting them.
Right.
And they have communities that need to feel seen. And so I think that we just have to expect that going forward, you're always going to see some ESO, some Fallout 76, some Sea of Thieves,
Yep.
Minecraft, and all that. Well, maybe
Hey,
see,
this
'cause
time,
State of
this
Decay-
year.
We never saw
Yeah.
this game, did we?
The release.
I don't remember.
Have we
this.
seen or heard this game? We haven't. I don't remember this. We have not seen or heard from this game since the showcase.
No, we haven't.
It fell through the cracks, and it was this one actually hit people correctly. People actually, remembered this fondly, and it seems to have fallen under the
we
radar.
haven't heard anything about it. But what was that point
Yeah.
you were trying to make though at the end though?
I'm sorry,
You were
go ahead,
saying
yeah.
on that.
Oh, right. So, what was? Remind me what I was saying. I don't know. I don't.
You were
could-
saying
Kay,
about
that's
a lot of these games we'll see ESO.
Forgive me.
Sea of
Oh, right.
Thieves,
So
and-
we just have to accept that when we're at a showcase, that there's going to
always
be a
will be
segment
part of it.
to see those service games that they have, and it sucks because then they get more and more service games. But I just think keep it in your mind
Freeland,
that
Shadow
for
Legends.
10 to 15 minutes out of a 90-minute show, that will be packed with Grounded, Minecraft, Sea of Thieves, ESO, and Fallout 76. There'll be something there from that, and we just have to allow for it and then move on from it. I don't think it should take away from our show experience, provided they do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, I agree. I mean,
Yeah.
they have an audience.
I don't
right?
disagree. Yeah. I wish there was
Showcase
a
'em.
way of them making that stuff a bit more exciting too. It seems like, oh, here it goes. There's the lull. Here's your ESO. Here's your.
Yeah.
I wish they could rekindle those fires a bit. But
I
I
think
understand
they
it's
should do
necessary.
a service block in the middle of the show.
Yeah,
and just
yeah,
get it
yeah,
rid- Instead of sprinkling it. What do you think? Sprinkle those things out, or just here's your service
Well,
block?
Maybe they
I
can do a
would- I would
little
say
reel,
sprinkle
We'll take
it.
a bathroom break. And then
I
come
would say
back when the
sprinkle it
service block
because
is
if you
over.
don't sprinkle it and you put it in a block, then that brings the pacing down, right? Then that
Yeah.
makes that section just too heavy and bloated with stuff that normal people don't care about, and then that takes away from the show itself.
I feel you on
So
it, but
sprinkle it in.
maybe a sizzle reel to kind of quickly
Yeah.
say, "Hey, we got this coming," or "You got this new update," whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact is those games do make money, so they have to honor them. But the problem is that chop this head right on off. Looks like Sam Jackson a little bit right there, but
I know.
yeah. I'm tired of these mother effing
Oh,
slices
boy.
chopping off my mother effing head. But no, but I think the problem is that typically we've had these games, we've played them, so it's just like, okay, give me something new. We don't want to see these. That's what the problem is for it. So maybe a sizzle reel or something like that, kind of get it out of the way. Maybe that'll help.
I mean, Diablo 4 did come correct. So this
It
is from
sure
last
did.
year.
It's delivered
And
the
here we
goods.
are, living in the world of Diablo. And by and large,
Speaking of Diablo 4, Jaffe had a very interesting point that he brought up on one of his live streams. And he was saying if the ABK deal goes through,
oh, he found a way of saying
perhaps-
ABK on the show.
No.
today.
We're not talking about ABK. We're just saying if it goes through, perhaps Rod Ferguson should be Phil's hitman, his second in charge of content across all three publishers.
Because as
I
you can
would-
see with Diablo, Rod has
but not-
proved himself as the closer.
But
I would
he's
have
proved
no
himself
problem with it.
He's proved himself managing the Gears franchise, and now he's done it again with Diablo. Isn't it time for him to step up and do it at a large scale where you're not just overseeing a single IP, but the entire brand?
I would have no problem with that, Everborn, and I actually have said before on record that I feel like remember
And he
when we got
knows the
that developer direct.
He knows the Microsoft politics of whatever to get things done.
He does,
right?
But look at the developer direct we got with Bethesda, and everybody was praising it for like, yeah, that was how you presented, and look at the marketing for it. That wasn't really Microsoft doing that the way they did. That was Bethesda like kind of doing what they do. So I agree with that. Have them and Rod or Activision, maybe have them lead more when it comes to the marketing side of things and presenting games the way they do. I think they do a better job, honestly, overall.
The chat is bringing up an interesting point though. Would Rod even want to do that? He did leave for a reason.
Well, he might be coming back.
Maybe.
And then he might leave again, right? You don't know, right? He left for a reason. Like Ibarra left for a reason. See, look at this. Everything you see was captured in Series X. Even Activision knows to do that, and Xbox does not.
Yeah, but that was Rod that knew to do that.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I don't think Rod left on any bad blood. It was just a bigger opportunity to run a franchise.
It's true.
Like
he spoke on it actually on the
he's already spoken on it. Yeah,
So again, you're gonna get back Mikey Barra too. By the way, Sycamore is not on board with this idea. He said Rod needs to be protected at all costs. Let him do his thing. But no, I do think like I could see Rod in an upgraded position to do what he's done for these two franchises at a broader level, in terms of producing and making sure you hit dates and making sure there's a certain production quality. And I don't think his skills in that level can be denied.
Over which teams? Xbox,
so where would he go next?
Which teams?
Yeah, where would he go next?
I feel like there needs to be somebody that is above Todd Howard and Matt Booty, but below Phil.
Okay.
Let Phil focus on the big picture stuff.
I just saw publishing enforcer.
Right.
Who was that David Jaffe always keeps recommending Phil talks to from that used to work with something?
Oh no, he changed his mind now. Now he thinks it should be Rod. He wanted somebody, Shannon Loftus or somebody.
Shannon Loftus. It was Shannon Loftus. Yes.
But I think he was onto something just in. Forget about Rod. If you don't like Rod for this job, I do think there should be someone that is below Phil but above the rest of them. The studio heads that say, okay, I know you doing your thing, but you need to deliver, and I'm gonna be Phil's bad cop. You know what I'm saying? He needs a number two that can make sure people are hitting dates and the brand, and they're not like snatching defeat from the jaws of victory and missing easy layups.
Absolutely, I agree with that. Just for that fact that it feels like it has
someone who has the authority to fire people too.
Yeah,
and Victor Alistine correctly points out we're talking Shannon Studstill. Yes,
I fought this World Boss, by the way, yesterday.
Wait a minute.
Another game that delivered on what it showed.
Goat Reviews says caught it. Bobby K is low key perfect. Think about it though.
Hold up.
As a hitman,
he's spitting bars though. Look, y'all can hit him on the front, but the man deliver.
As the bad guy,
you do realize Microsoft would get completely worked in the public if that was found out, right? If that's what he did.
I know there's a clown who's gonna want to clip that comment because they clipped something else I said about Bobby Kotick. But you'll get over it, my dude. Just don't say it about that. But all right.
All the people that's mad at Bobby K is happily playing Diablo 4 and glad it came out. But
we have Victor Alistine in here with a $2 super chat. Managing 15 plus studios is not the same as one. Yeah, that's true, and that's probably the reason why Rod is far more successful.
But listen, why don't they just split the duties? I think Matt Booty, sometimes the problem a lot of us have is it seems like Xbox is too hands off.
You want them to split the duties on Booty? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Forgive me.
I could have went with that pun, but I was like, it's too easy. I left that.
Wow.
I had to do that. Forgive me.
But no, like I feel like maybe he has too much on his plate. Maybe split it and have somebody else that can take on co-responsibility with that and make sure that they're getting, on these teams and making sure things are right or running well. Maybe that's part of the issue.
I hear you. Oh, so while you guys are still seeing, and this is still what do you call it? Diablo 4 footage you're watching. And not to be outdone, our poll with a smaller sampling of 216 votes so far have Diablo 4 leading game of the year talk handily. Yes, we have Tears of the Kingdom coming in at 24%. That's because
they know it's about to be first party.
But
I don't know if we can trust them.
56% of the public is like, yo, that Diablo 4 got the game of the year, to a lesser extent, 12% for Jedi Survivor and 8% for Hogwarts. Where you at, Black Harry Potter? Where you
in the
at?
pan, baby. Flash in the pan.
Where you at?
It's
Black Harry
recency.
Potter?
It's recency bias, though.
Of course, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah,
That's
and I'm
exactly what it is.
loving.
Yeah,
Diablo
but it's
4.
also it is also the fact that Diablo and Tears of the Kingdom are just superior games to Hogwarts. But that's neither here nor there.
You don't know that.
I wouldn't say they're superior. I think they're good in their own lane. Everything is good in its own lane. Hogwarts is
No.
great at what it is.
Umbra, stop.
That's
stop,
that
stop.
participation
You're
prize
letting
thing.
him like feed that narrative. He doesn't like it, so he wants everyone to deal with that.
Losers.
No,
It's not
no.
me. It's the votes.
No,
it's the
no,
vote.
no.
These are the numbers, people. I'm not making this up.
Oh, everyone, I got a question. How
so
much of
who do you-
Hogwarts did you
okay.
play? Did you play Hogwarts?
I got 4.5 hours in Hogwarts.
Okay.
In
That
a
was
30 or
enough for
some
me.
odd hour game.
Yeah.
That was enough for me. So in the chat, I'm hearing people saying that the job that I'm describing should go to Sarah Bond, and I'm saying Sarah could be next in line for the Iron
Next in
Throne.
line could be
so
Phil
it don't need to
himself,
be
yeah.
her. That we need somebody in between.
Well,
there needs to
but
be
you
a
know
layer
what?
in between.
You know what though? There is an argument to be made that if Sarah is going to take the Iron Throne, then you don't need a middleman because Sarah has what Phil doesn't. She is her own bagman. She is her own hatchet. But most people don't
the
get
one
to
that
see
brings
that.
home Sega.
She is the one. She has that energy that people are looking for. She's just not really allowed to bring that forward. And if she were to replace Phil, maybe you'd see a bit more of that. Maybe you see more of that aggressive energy.
So Patran, we're not saying Phil is leaving anytime soon. I don't think any of us know that.
Yeah.
For sooner or later, but
Yeah.
at some point it's going to happen.
Hey,
And we're saying she's the guy.
I mean, Randall Thor 19, the man with the million, who has been known to play games with Mrs. Spencer pretty frequently. He said on his show yesterday that he foresees Phil Spencer retiring before the end of the
I don't
gen.
believe that. Yeah, I don't.
I hope not. But
I don't buy
these are conversations being had. Hence us weighing in on it. People that talk to him are saying
I
that,
don't
so.
think Xbox is in their final form yet. And
No,
once
no,
they
no.
get there, I think he's gonna have to sort of integrate all of that and make sure it's
And then he can
clean
exit
ship
stage
and then
left. Yeah.
But I do think you
This
need to
game-
continue to have Phil on the board to advocate for the gaming division.
Sure.
So even when
No, I
he's
get
not doing the main job, I think we definitely need him at least sitting on the board to back up whoever takes over his position.
What did you think about this game here? Okay.
Well, before I get
love
there,
the art and everything, but I hate the combat. Like I really couldn't get
Seafood
past the
Poetic with
combat.
a $5 super chat real quick says Pete Hines, Matt Booty, and Rod Ferguson lead Xbox's directors of operations. That's an interesting idea. And let them be the head. I wouldn't be mad at that either.
Although
No,
Pete
no.
kind of dropped the ball with Redfall there with how that was
True.
all passed up, information wise on how the things look, but I wouldn't be mad at that. I think he does generally good job. So
Yeah. And this
Do we
game,
believe that
Ravenlock,
Xbox should have
this would be a
canceled
W
Redfall?
on the column, right?
Yes. It would.
I think it's a W, but I hated the combat.
I liked
but-
I liked Ravenlock. I didn't mind the combat. I just thought it was a cheap, like kind of quick little, palate cleanser kind of game. But I liked it.
You know what it is? There was no feedback to the combat. Like when you hit something,
Shallow.
you could just keep,
Yeah, I
you
can
could
agree
just
with that.
keep spamming the attack button and keep moving forward and attacking. And that to me, it kind of took me out of it. So like I just wish they would have spent just a little bit of time, even if it was a basic 3-hit that had like actual weight behind it. I think it would have been good enough for what they were trying to do. But that just tap 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 tap.
Who's excited about this?
I am very excited for this.
And for those who don't remember, this is Cocoon from the now split team of Inside. The other half has already given you what's the other one that came out that looked great but didn't play well?
Planet of Lana.
No, not Planet of Lana. The other game.
Oh.
It looks like Planet of Lana. Yes. This
No,
was
you're talking about
Oh,
Benedict
the alien
Fox.
invasion.
with the alien invasion.
Oh,
Same
that
Planet of
one,
Lana like.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that one I
Yes.
didn't care for that much.
That's the other
Unfortunately.
side of this team.
Yeah, it didn't
Yeah.
land.
That didn't land very well. Yeah,
It didn't.
absolutely.
Yeah, I
it
didn't
looked
care
great,
for
but it didn't land very well.
Yeah.
They're
Chat,
doing some
please.
interesting
Somerville,
things
thank
here.
you so much. Lucius
Somerville,
Augustus.
that's
Somerville.
it, yeah.
Yes, look at the puzzle prowess. This is pretty great, right?
This looks
Yeah.
really good.
It looks really interesting. Cocoon, looks
Yeah,
like it will be.
I'm
quite
hyped for it. It
interesting.
looks really, it's gorgeous. I mean, like it has a nice premise behind it. I think it'll be interesting to play.
Yep. Yep. So yeah, that's coming out, and there's and of course we will address the elephant in the room since most of the folks in here are most likely Xbox gamers or people who are on these Twitter streets and know and keep an eye on this stuff. We have seen lists flying left and right. Shout out to Idle Sloth. You know, he put one out there. There was a list that came out recently with Cocoon on it for the game showcase tomorrow. So we shall see if we see.
Should we go over that list and say what we believe and what we don't believe?
We can talk about that. You know, let's ride this one out first. We can talk about that a little bit at the end. We can talk about a little bit because, you know, some people think it's
somebody
it's
might see it as spoilers. Yeah, somebody might see it as spoilers.
Yeah, it might be seen as spoilers.
Hold on a minute. Mm-hmm. That is a thing I want to address, right?
Sure.
I don't think it's the same thing as like a plot leak of a movie script or showing footage, like leaked footage of a trailer or a trailer that shows too much in it. I think it's very different with gaming because a list is only a list, and the things on the list have to show well. And I think it would be a surprise enough just the fact that those things from that supposed list were there. So I just don't buy that it's
well,
like
you know what,
Everborn.
While I feel you, and I understand where you're coming from, it's the same thing as in those who are okay with spoilers and those who don't care about spoilers, or those who are very sensitive to spoilers. Yeah, but see,
I just feel like this is not a spoiler.
The sentiment is the same. Just like you hate spoilers, while I don't care about spoilers, you can spoil something for me and I'll still go watch the movie because I still think the journey is also as important as the destination. Some people who don't like spoilers at all, I feel how sensitive you are to that. Yeah. Some people on the gaming side have the same thing. Some people feel like if this game is going to be there, whether it be a JPEG or a full intricate 5-minute trailer with gameplay, I don't want to know. I want to be blown away by this thing that I'd never heard of before. And that's a valid sentiment. Just like you don't like spoilers, they don't like that.
Yeah.
It's a valid sentiment.
And I put it out there because maybe that list could be real. How do we know?
It could be. You don't know. We don't know. We will know by this time tomorrow.
What if the list is real and it's all JPEGs? That does nothing for you. So what is important if we're really getting down to the brass tacks of
everything you're describing here can be used against you when you say you don't like spoilers of a movie, because those arguments can be made there. Even though I agree with you that games are an active participatory kind of event, so it's not like a passive watching thing. And so showing you what you're going to be playing is technically not spoiling because you have to actively play it. You have to have agency.
Speaking of spoilers, by the way,
this
game on the screen right here, we just got spoiled by 2 of them.
Exactly. I think this is unfortunate news, and it's actually good segue. We all know because it's been officialized. And by the way, spoiler alert, it was also on the list.
Yeah, it was.
Persona 3 Reloaded, which is it's a remake, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Persona 3 remake
and Persona
is
5
literally
Tactica.
Yeah, and Tactica, which is the offshoot, both coming 2024, early 2024, day one Game Pass. Now, to the conversation we're having, Everborn, those that feel like they would have liked to hear that when the show was live and they're in their seat and they're eating their popcorn and, oh my God, it's Persona 3. Oh, we didn't hear it. It just kind of came out of nowhere. Those that feel that that's the first time they want to experience that, and this release coming out or this being telegraphed is a disappointment, I kind of feel you on that. Right? This is a big win for them. Had this been shown off at that showcase, it would have blown the house down. Oh my God. But now, unfortunately, it's kind of been spoiled.
Take some of the impact off. I don't.
Some of the endpoint. It takes some of this. Exactly.
All,
Exactly. So I feel you. Same thing with them. Yeah, exactly. Lucius Augustus. He said if Metal Gear Solid 3 wasn't leaked, it would have hit harder on the PlayStation Showcase. Exactly my point. And to an even larger extent, that's why I feel it was unfortunate for Microsoft to tease Fable. Great, it's going to be there. Don't let people know it's going to be there. Let them get gobsmacked across the face with this amazing thing that you didn't see coming. That's all.
Here's the problem with that. I don't think the same applies to things like Fable or even Perfect Dark, which we don't expect to be there, because these games have already been announced, so you know of them. That magic that you're talking about would have to be a game that you did not know existed at all before.
Bro.
Because, hang on a second. Everyone is expecting that it's plausible that Fable could or should be there, whether Microsoft teased it or not.
Yeah.
We'll say you announced this in 2021 or whatever they announced it, and I expect to see it now. So I don't think you're going to have that, oh my God, moment that we all think we're going to have, unless it's something
that we haven't seen at all before.
We haven't seen or heard of before. So for example, for example, no list, whatever. If Contraband is at the show, yes, it's a surprise that it's at the show, but also it very well should be at the show because we don't know anything.
I hear you.
It has
to
be something you've never
let me
heard
give
of
you
before.
let me break your thoughts on that, because yes, so your barometer for surprise has to be something, an IP that has not been mentioned before
or leaked.
Or leaked. Okay. I argue, if we have the showcase tomorrow with all the leaks that have been brought to bear currently, and all the things that are running around in the zeitgeist and things that people are talking about, if the last night, if the last night were to make an appearance, a game you've heard of and seen, it would be a complete surprise. Why? Because even though the last night has been announced and has been shown off, it fell off the radar hard years ago and has not been put back on for a long time. Even through all these lists and all these conversations we're having, no one has mentioned it. I'm just using that as an example. If it were to make a reappearance tomorrow, you'd be blown away. And by me telling you it's coming tomorrow, you'd be disappointed that it's not shown off. Oh my God, it's back. Just because it's shown off does not mean you can lose the surprise because, it's a known IP. Get hype. That's built.
That's different.
On a,
that is different. What you're talking about is very different from games that were actually announced with trailers.
Yeah.
This is 2 years later from when, or sometimes 3 and 4 in the case of Everwild. If it's there, you kind of expect it to be there. Right now, if right, so in the chat, right, if Killer Instinct shows up,
there you go, big surprise.
That's a surprise.
Exactly.
If they tell you tomorrow that we're doing an all new cameo with Ratchet and Clank level graphics, right, that would be a surprise. Nobody's expecting that, but I just don't think Avowed and Fable and Perfect Dark and those kind of games really warrant it's gonna change your experience whether you know if it's gonna be there or if it's not gonna be there. I just think
I hear you on it. I hear you on it, but Fable I would say
yeah.
otherwise though, because a lot of people didn't expect to see Fable. So that right there, them doing that advertisement, everybody all of a sudden, I expect Fable to be there.
People are holding things back. They're holding things back. They're not trying to tell you. The goal of this show is to surprise and delight. That's the goal. It's not games. It's not what you're going to play. It's all about surprise and delight.
And delight
right?
with your visuals and gameplay.
Yeah.
That's what you should
honestly, I don't agree with you, Everborn. I don't agree with you.
Fun though is like E3 time frame is part of that is recapturing that childhood experience.
We ain't kids no more.
Hey,
stop it, Everborn.
Kids at heart.
We're gonna mute this man now. Now he's going too much in the grumpy direction. Get out of here.
Gaga.
We're trying to be kids. That's why we here talking games the day before the showcase. What are you talking about?
So you just want to capture some of that feeling, right?
That magic, right? Stop being get off my lawn and curmudgeon, dude. Like, what are we doing?
And 2 of those games that's on that list, by the way, we've seen recently. I'm not going to say anything else more than that.
Oh, now he's going to start playing with them list talk. Stop it.
Now, here's the thing. You know what was a surprise that we didn't expect?
What's that?
Sonic.
Oh, God. Okay.
No, I mean, it's true. It's true.
Yes, that's
no
true.
one was
That's true.
expecting
That's
that.
Yeah.
Somebody made a great point.
It was as well. And it was nice just to see something different that we weren't expecting, right?
And people made good points. They talked about how Kojima was spoiled for the showcase, for Xbox Showcase last year. Also, how Metal Gear Solid 3 was spoiled. Had we not known about Metal Gear Solid, and that had been speculated for a long time, to be fair, but had we not known about that, PlayStation Showcase might not have been as much of a dud as it was, because they'd have been like, they got Metal Gear Solid. and we wouldn't. It would have been ambiguity because we wouldn't have known if it was coming to Xbox at that point.
I don't know, man. I just feel like there's a lot of people like crying over leaks.
Look at Curry Cosmos. Curry Cosmos' comment. Look at the screen. Easiest analogy is the kids at Christmas. If you know one of the gifts you're going to open, it happens the experience. Doesn't mean you're not going to have fun when you open it. Doesn't mean it's not a fun game or whatever.
It doesn't mean that we didn't go the night before when the parents were sleeping to try to peek through the
Stop being a grandpa, bro.
Stop it. Listen. This goes to the point that I'm making. People are pretending they care about these leaks, but they're following Tom Henderson and the snitch and all of those things, and they're watching Jeff Grubb trying to get these leaks, and now you're like, don't spoil me. Stop it. Stop it. You want to know the information.
Don't spoil me, bro.
You will be wild with the visuals. Stop. I think it's performative. That's what I think.
Okay. All I will say is because some people like spoilers and some people don't, right? I don't care about spoilers. You can tell me the whole thing that happened in the movie, I will watch and have a good time and it won't bother me. It won't. But those who like spoilers, those who are very spoiler averse, I feel you, bro. I'm not gonna yuck your yum, as they say. So if you're one who feels the same way in a gaming context, I feel you. All right. I don't care, but let's go.
I'm the opposite when it comes to you and like the movies. You tell me the end of that journey, we're gonna have a problem.
We're gonna have a problem. There you go. That's it.
But so here's the thing. This is the last thing I'll say about this, right? Let's say we're talking about Compulsion's game, whatever. I don't know if it's Midnight or Indus or whatever the hell it is. Whatever.
Was it Dingus?
Whatever, right?
Okay.
You can tell me that that's going to be there. That literally means nothing to me because I don't know what the game is. I don't know what kind of game it is. I don't know what the visuals look like. I don't know what the story is. So the awe and wonder comes from seeing what we actually get on the table, not a name on a list. That's all I'm saying.
Shout out to OBM. He said, I opened and played my NES games on Christmas Eve, then rewrapped them. Spoil me. Damn.
How are you so good at rewrapping the stuff
great.
back then at that
and
age?
your parents didn't even notice?
Right.
Like, that's amazing.
It's called a blow dryer. It'll help you stick the tape or remove it. Get good at these gift.
And Sycamore is saying that he agrees with me and that you are wrong, sir. I have to always point that out. Yes, you are wrong.
Wait a minute. So if we all saw these gifts our parents had put away somewhere, are y'all telling me Santa Claus don't exist?
Okay, moving quickly along. So in case my children are watching in the chat, moving swiftly along. So we are looking at Starfield.
I always
footage,
told my kids that I am Santa Claus.
Yeah, there you go.
That's kind of that's that Caribbean in you. Ain't no Santa Claus. Santa Claus.
Hold on. This is what I'm saying. But like, why are we giving this gray beard, whatever dude? I'm not gonna say it. You know what I'm saying?
Don't do it.
Why are we giving them the credit for the hard work that we do?
Don't do it.
No, I feel you. I'm Santa Claus.
Salute to Ty Talks, who's also in the chat. He also agrees. See, I love it when people agree with me. Thank you. Appreciate y'all.
That's what my father used to say. I was like, "Oh, I'm scared to go into the basement. It might be a ghost." My father was like, "If there's a ghost here, he better start paying me rent." So we don't. These are just not games that we play.
Salute to Father of Everborn Saga. That's good right there. That's good. So, okay, we're looking at footage from Starfield. This was 30 frames per second footage, right? But that was the first time we actually saw it.
And
supposedly the next
when you actually play it too.
Well, who knows?
If you're playing on Xbox.
Well, hold on. Who knows? Because the tomorrow's showcase has already been reported as in coming out 4K 60 as far as the stream. But to your point, Everborn, the Xbox platform is PC and console. So that could be how they go, well, this is why we're showing this to you at 60 frames per second. A quick aside, because I just saw it on the screen. Who's buying that watch? Have y'all seen that? There's a deluxe edition, has like a smartwatch and all this. It's pretty good looking.
It looks dope. I'm not buying it, though.
Here he go.
I might rock myself. I might rock with it.
That look kind of fresh, Everborn. No, it looks good. I'm getting a controller. I know we're not jumping to that, but I'm getting a controller for sure.
Yeah, I'm getting a controller
I'm not
too.
sure. Yeah,
I'm getting a controller and the trash headphones. I hate those Xbox.
You know, some people not liking the headphones. What are you?
So supposedly,
no, not the Starfield ones. The Starfield ones look good. I'm saying
the OG headphones.
The
Xbox. The OG headphones. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And yes, I'm getting the controller and I'm getting the headphones because that will denote the first time and the only time I ever got sloth and I ever will get sloth. Mark my words, not having it again. But I want to get those controllers. It looks really cool. So
really good. Yeah.
What about the hoodie?
That looks real cool too. Like they have a whole thing. It's interesting how the company that works alongside them to really like to extend the marketing come up with very interesting things, more so than the actual console like platform itself. Sometimes I think, like where is the limited edition console? Right? Maybe we see that
the
tomorrow.
One I'm wondering about. Like, why don't they have a limited edition console? I hope they do.
Based on rumor and speculation, they do not.
Yeah, well, we saw what they did with Diablo. I mean,
that's the part I would like Xbox to step up on when it comes. They used to be kind of on that, like in the 360 era.
They did it dirty with the Halo, right?
Yeah,
that was so freaking limited, nobody could get one.
Yeah, and it looks good too.
Yeah. It's a console, but
Yeah. Nope.
Yeah,
like
so yeah,
and this is a big release. It would be nice.
Based on this video, it looks like they want everyone to walk away from this whole this thing with Starfield as their game of show. Did this make it for you guys? Did all the stuff you saw here? Was this successful for you? Do you remember leaving this thing and going, oh my God, Starfield's going to be the next coming? I remember leaving this and going, they need to do better with the hair. But that's
I felt that about the hair, and I also felt about the frames. I'm like, okay, they got to improve those frames now. That was sub 20 we saw. So my first thought was, are we going to now have 30 frames per second for Starfield? And now, by the way, I'm leaning toward we're going to have 60 at launch for Starfield after all the time.
On console,
not even just PC. I think and I stand on that. I die on the hill. I think we're going to have 60.
Yeah, I think we will as well. I mean, they've had time to work on this. I think we will.
Yeah, they would have mea culpa'd and basically said it if they weren't. So because they have not said it, that's why I think you guys are right. We're probably getting 60 frames per second.
But in terms of how this showing landed, I thought it landed very well. Like just them going through like the menus and stuff like that and seeing like some of the things in there. I mean, people were literally like frame by framing this video, which to me means that's a good video, right? Where people want to analyze it and see like what they can find out about the game. So I thought this landed very well. Then like having the construction, like that immediately had me like, yeah, I'm buying this because I'm going to be a mining tycoon. I'm going to be mining all these planets, right?
So oil in them heels.
Yo, I could be 300 hours. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask this question, because every time I ask this question, people want to throw virtual tomatoes at me. So get them ready. Get your eggs ready. But I will ask this question. I've asked it before, and I got some virtual tomatoes, and I'm going to ask it again because I'm looking at it again. Who has played No Man's Sky, and who tells me who can convince me that this isn't a stolen idea of No Man's Sky, but taken to its AAA conclusion? It really feels that way to me.
So wait a minute.
No.
I have played No Man's Sky, but only for a couple of hours.
How long? Yeah, maybe. Okay, who's played No Man's Sky in 2023?
I played it
because No Man's Sky has gone through a lot.
It's a deep game now. They got a lot going.
Yeah, it's gone through a lot. No Man's Sky in 2023 is not the No Man's Sky you played when it first came out. It just is not. And I'm not trying to be salty about it. I'm just asking.
But the thing is, this is a story that you're following, right?
Yeah.
This is a world,
and No Man's Sky has that as well now.
Now they have that.
Yeah, but
as recently as 2022.
No, but it's not
still at its core a survival game if you play it out of the box.
Yeah, it doesn't add your Skyrim elements on top.
Right.
True.
So here's the thing. I don't want to subscribe to this idea that any game in space is a No Man's Sky clone.
No,
right?
no, of course not. Of course not.
But
let's be fair, Everborn. Remember how it was announced. No Man's Sky was announced, infinite planets. You can go to any place you want. All that. Similar announcement here.
But this is not
infinite planets. It's not infinite.
Go anywhere you want.
So you're telling me? So you're telling me that the comparisons you don't see at all? Because I really see them.
One is an RPG in space, right? Yeah. And the other is more of a simulation.
Survival sim in space.
And there are some elements that's unavoidable.
State of Decay is to that other game that Sony had worked on with the zombies, right? They have zombies. There is some collections and stuff like that, but they're, you know, it's a sandbox game, right? And because it's a sandbox game, it's not going to feel
State
like
of Decay is Last of Us.
And let's be clear here. Let's be clear here. Whenever this topic is brought up, people get in their feels because they feel it's a pejorative. I don't mean it that way.
No.
I like No Man's Sky.
You do. There are elements of this game that are, you could say, similar to No Man's Sky. Obviously, right? You have the mining. You have multiple planets. You have the cataloging, right? But in the context of the story, it's because you are exploring the universe, right? Humanity's trying to find its place. That's what at least it seems like. Whereas No Man's Sky is, you are stranded on a planet and you're trying to get off the planet and find out, just find out about the universe. So it's the starting points are a little different. Plus, I'm sure this is not going to start like No Man's Sky where you're building. You need to repair your ship and get off the planet by like mining and all that other stuff, even though we're gonna have all the mining. So I think more this, because it's a role-playing game, you're gonna have the mission structure, right? That's normal, but that's the mission structure. You're on the planet, they're like,
Shout out to the community. I love these conversations. Dorian Gray saying Bethesda already said it. It's a Han Solo simulator. I appreciate that. Yes.
No.
I could say that. I'm getting to him as well.
Look at Ham Solo.
I'm getting to him as well. And shout out to Fuzzy. Fuzzy says that the comparison of No Man's Sky is like Sega Outrun versus Forza 5.
Oh, wow.
Shout out to you, sir.
Yeah,
That's
very
right.
shallow.
He didn't even give me Daytona USA. He said,
oh man, he went back to Sega Genesis on you.
And then he said, Ham Solo, I was going to invite you to the show, but you lost your invite. He says No Man's Sky is to Starfield as Kay Asante is to Jacob Keys and Halo. Comparison is only surface level. Thank you, sir.
And that's the fair thing. Like,
my man, he's not wrong.
And that's the fairest thing, because it's very surface level. If we're going to say that any game, the spacefaring, anybody could be like, oh, they got that from Star Wars
gameplay and all that.
Yeah, they got that from Firefly. So that's the problem. And I think you're not doing it pejoratively, but people have done it. And then people play like, why are people upset? Like Destin did, and much love to Destin, but he had to know at that time our Hoove brothers was using it pejoratively, and then suddenly here's this comparison. He knew, but then he'll play innocent. Why are you guys so upset?
Right,
because you knew.
And I'm taking a mental health break.
Right, but because Destin, because. No, but the thing is, it's like it's surface level. We know we're going to get something monumentally, generationally great from this game. It is a difference already in that sense. Also, narrative matters, characters matter. We're going to get something. That's why I said this game is going to be a game of the year contender. They're launching it in September, by the way, for a reason. They want this to be one of those games that's going to be running up against Zelda. And I think I'm going to say it out here. I think it will challenge and might beat Zelda. And I don't know if it'll outscore Zelda, but I think it could be for a game of the year. And I don't know why people doubt it so much. I don't know why.
Anybody on the panel or in the chat want to bet, Mr. Umbra, that
y'all don't want none of that. Sycamore, don't you even start.
Listen.
It's going to be up there.
When we talk about Game of the Year, what I think will end up being there will be Diablo 4, Tears of the Kingdom, Starfield, and Spider-Man 2, and some
Spider-Man 2 won't be there.
I don't think Spider-Man will be there.
You don't think Spider-Man 2 makes the cut for even a nomination?
Be in the cut for graphics. It won't be there for gameplay. It won't be.
Okay, what is the other game this year that? And by the way, that other game is going to be Baldur's Gate 3.
All right.
Wow. Hold on. Sycamore here with a $10 super chat saying No Man's Sky is KFC. While Chick-fil-A, while Starfield is Chick-fil-A.
You can't even play Starfield on Sundays.
So as a person that lives in a place where Chick-fil-A is all over the place, I think that may not be the best argument you want to make, because in certain Chick-fil-A's they rival KFC, but that's me. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm just saying. I'm sorry. Forgive me. The mighty have fallen. Forgive me.
Would you all consider Resident Evil 4 remake a contender of the game of the year?
No.
Now, see, people will say remasters, no, but remakes, yes. And I kind of agree with that, because it's more or less.
No, it's not because it's a remaster or a remake. I just don't think it had as much of it. Like great.
Well, what about the fact that it's been remastered and or remade like 11 times. Like at some point, does it stop becoming part of the conversation when when you've remade this exact property multiple times?
Last of Us 1 remake is gonna win Game of the Year.
Right? Like at some point, doesn't that become like, okay, you bow out now, right? You no longer can compete.
Sycamore is from New York, so he meant Chick-fil-A as a positive. I already know that.
Oh, okay.
I understood it.
New York KFC ain't ish.
No,
Okay, I feel you. And I'm telling you, Florida KFC and Chick-fil-A trade blows as far as degradation of quality, but that's neither here nor there. Let's move forward.
Yeah, so I don't see Spider-Man in the conversation unless
So
they
give
just
me 5 games.
Unless they just got to
top.
give Spider-Man something.
Well, hold on.
Give me 5 games off top.
All right, finish this and then we'll get back to it. Go ahead.
Since Spider-Man
5 games.
What's the 5 games?
Five game of the years. Let's go.
Yeah,
6. We need 6 though, right? We need 6. They do.
Is
It's
there 6?
officially 6.
Hogwarts, Diablo, Star Wars, Zelda, Starfield. Who's our 6th game?
That's 5th. That's 5 right there.
You need some indie joint. They always do an obligatory
indie game. So what hot indie game is this year?
Hi-Fi Rush, not indie, but it's lower AA.
No, I don't think they'd do it. I mean, if it was Stray level, a la PlayStation, they'd do it. But I don't know if they do it.
Man, I'm still mad about that Stray thing.
Baldur's Gate, yeah, okay. So I can see Baldur's Gate in there. I don't see how Spider-Man sneaks in.
Diablo. Did you mention Diablo? You better mention Diablo.
Yeah.
Okay. Hooded couldn't have got it right. Hogwarts, Diablo, Jedi, Starfield, and what's the Nintendo?
See, but he's assuming that Star Wars Jedi Survivor is gonna. Again, we're not talking about your picks. We're talking about what we get nominated.
What we expect to be at the Keeleys, specifically the Keeleys.
Games that had impact this year, right? Are we saying Star Wars didn't have impact?
I don't think it's going to have impact definitely Star Wars.
Honestly, I feel like Star Wars got lost in the sauce because when they did talk about it, at that time there was a lot of technical issues, and now that the technical issues are being ironed out, people have moved on to other games because there's so many of them. It may have lost its chance.
They got passed over the last time.
So Spider-Man gets the Keeley nod because it's a Sony game. I hear you.
It's possible. I wouldn't put it past them for that reason, but
high profile games that I don't think.
Go ahead, Everborn. You 5. Go.
I already said my 5, but I'll say it again. I think it's going to be Diablo, Tears of the Kingdom. The obligatory indie joint is going to be Baldur's Gate 3.
Okay.
And
then you're going to have Spider-Man and you're going to have Starfield. And
I think you're wrong about Spider-Man.
You're getting Star Wars getting snubbed for the second time.
Absolutely.
I think my 6.
just like Aloy keeps getting snubbed. I think.
Go ahead, Umbra.
I think Final Fantasy 16 has a better chance than Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, we haven't spoken.
People kind of just forgot about that one. I think Tears of the Kingdom, Diablo 4, Jedi Survive. I don't know why people keep talking about bugs. That game is great despite
it's
the
great
bugs.
now. Yeah.
It was great then. It still just had bugs, but it's foundationally is great. It's just bugs that messed it up. Hogwarts Legacy.
I don't think people are gonna remember that.
Hogwarts. People will absolutely remember Hogwarts. That game was great, and it's so crazy. So that's not going anywhere.
Not this chat. This chat.
Years of the RPG.
And Final Fantasy 16. That's my 6. I would say.
Okay.
Tears of the Kingdom, Diablo 4, Jedi Survivor, Hogwarts Legacy. Starfield. I should have mentioned. And Final Fantasy 16.
Pixel, what you saying?
That's what I'm sticking with.
It's the year of the RPG.
Yes, sir. So the thing is, I think the high profile snubs, and then we can move on. I think Hogwarts will get snubbed. I think Star Wars will get snubbed.
Yeah.
Pixel thinks Spider-Man, but I don't. We're just talking about these high profile snubs. Another snub, I mean, really. Should Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat be on this list?
I mean, Street Fighter by Metacritic score is the high 90s right now.
Sure is.
Right.
And remember, last time a game was in the high 90s and didn't get it, people were out in them Twitter streets with the pitchforks talking about Forza.
But just a fighting game.
But that's what I want to hear. I need the same energy you gave to Forza. You should give to the fighting game.
Same thing. Yes.
Fighting game.
They're not going to do that though. They're going to put it in its own fighting game category. Like we always know.
And I do think Final Fantasy is going to get this snub because was Final Fantasy 15 nominated when it came out?
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
But Final Fantasy 15 wasn't that great a game. I think 16 is going to be a better game personally.
Just not visually.
Yeah,
It's built the hype. It's built the hype.
It has built the hype.
Even with his lack of melanin, I think it's going.
Even then, yeah. It's built the hype.
No, but I think Final Fantasy 16 is going to be a high profile snub, and that's nothing against these games. These games in another year all could have took the prize potentially.
Yeah.
But I think the high profile snubs are going to be Final Fantasy, Hogwarts, and Star Wars, most notably. Plus, I'm back and forth about whether Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat will make the main list.
So based on our chat here, it is hands down. I'm closing the chat, closing the poll. Hands down, 266 votes later, 55%. Diablo 4, baby. Tears of the Kingdom coming close second.
If Diablo 4 won it, I would be happy for it because the game is so damn good.
It's deserving, I think.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a masterpiece, but it is at least a 9 out of 10 for me.
While you're talking,
what is consistent? Hogwarts came in last place.
Stop it. While you're talking, Umbra, why don't you hit us with your thoughts? We want what opens tomorrow's show, what closes tomorrow's show, and one crazy prediction no one saw coming.
I think what opens, actually, I agreed with Slow-Mo. I think Hellblade 2 will open the show. Okay. That makes the most sense. We've seen enough of it. We know about it. It's something they can say, here we go. They've done it before. And I look back in years past, and they always do open up, or they have at least for the past 3 or 4 shows with a first-party game. So I think Hellblade 2 would be that. I disagree with him on Fable closing it, because I feel like that should be saved for a new franchise, a new IP.
Sleepy Goblin with a great pull, man. If that were to happen, that would be excellent.
That would, Hey, we haven't heard anything from Double Fine in a minute. Actually,
that'd be so
that
good.
would be nice. Maybe that could be a new announcement. Absolutely.
Good pull, Sleepy Goblin.
Him and Jack Black are still in good favor with each other. That could be.
I love that game. That game is so good. I actually recently started replaying it on the deck. It's so good, that game. Continue.
Your baby father said he needs some of my nickels in Final Fantasy.
Don't start that stuff.
Anyway, I think Hellblade 2 will open. I think it'll be a brand new IP that closes. And I think that's the most effective. Oh, one more thing, something brand new. The only other way is if it's a ridiculous franchise that is well known, but a surprise. And that, Kay, I think you might know what I mean, but I'm not going to say it out loud.
You're looking at that list, aren't you?
I am.
Yes, you are.
I'm not going to say what it is, but if that is the one that closes.
That's me too. I think that's me and Everborn's barometer for success. If that one is on the list, holy mother
but now that proves my earlier point that you're not going to care about no damn leaks if that turns out to be true.
Again,
that will be
you're
just
talking
as
to
surprising.
Well, you're talking about us,
man.
Me, I don't mind. Like
we don't care.
Like,
some may care, and that's okay.
Audience might care. Us, we like,
we don't care.
We want to be in the know a little bit.
I want to know today.
That's right. I want to know if this list's real. I want you to show me. But no,
okay, so you
I
have your beginning and your end, and that's it. So you're not going to tell anybody what that is.
I'm not going to say what it is, but we know. But I would say if that end is what we think, if that end is what it is, then that would be the major thing that nobody would have saw coming, and that would have been a major drop.
And I hate to do this because not everybody,
anyone that hasn't seen this leak doesn't know what the F you're talking about.
Doesn't know what the hell you're talking about, and I'm going to make it even worse because I'm going to make it. I'm about to even make it worse because I don't think that one on the list is the only one because there are multiple insane things on that list. Like at least 2, they're just like, what? Anyway,
if any 2 of those major crazy ones, if they show up, if just one shows up, the showcase is a W on top of what we're going to get. Yeah,
it's over. Pixel, how about you, sir? First, last, and crazy, mind blowing. Oh, get up, walk away. Xbox took it over. What do you think?
So I'll preface this by saying I've not seen the list, so I don't.
Good for you, sir. Good for you.
So you have no idea what Umbra's
hashtag unsullied. Stay unsullied, sir. Stay unsullied.
I don't remember any of it, so I blocked myself out. But so opening for me would be Indiana Jones. I still say that I still think they closed on Hellblade and provide a date.
Mhm.
The date is this year. That's the only reason you would close with it. And then the my pie in the sky, out of nowhere is KI Returns because that's my joint. So yeah, KI Returns.
I will give you that. If Hellblade 2 closes and it's like coming this year, that would be a major. I can see
So
that.
my
one.
thing is, if KI is coming back, I think that's what you close the show with.
I would agree with that.
Okay.
If it is,
I would
coming
agree with
back.
that too.
Yes.
It had to
Yeah.
be something that we didn't see coming.
And you
Hellblade
don't-
2
and you
launching
don't
this
even
year
have
would be
to
something a
tell
lot
me
of people didn't see coming.
Just hit me with the do. I'm good.
Listen. That's a JPEG announcement, and we're hyped.
Yep, exactly.
So my thing is, I think that I think
dogs
you
are hyped
open
too.
the
They're hype for
show.
Killer Instinct. Yeah,
I know. I think you open the show with Hellblade 2 to set the tone. Because if they open with Hellblade 2, that's just indicative of what you're gonna get for the rest of the show.
Agreed.
Now, I think that you're gonna end the show with your one more thing is gonna be a new announcement, and that is gonna be what Compulsion is working on, or what In Exile is working on.
Oh, the elusive Compulsion game would be a good look. That's the
Right, so-
New Orleans based, right?
So
Yeah.
if well, that depends. What's going to be the art style on that? If it's We Happy Few art style,
no, gotta be
that-
realistic. Gotta be,
Okay.
gotta be sexy. You know what I'm saying?
right?
I mean, it may be stylized, but it has to be going for more real rather than goofy.
Cartoony
We Happy
and
Few
such.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
If there's no PBR, it's a FOH. Just saying.
Well done, sir. Well done.
And then the other thing, though, but what I really think could really now with the hype and the teasing of Fable, it makes you think that that's going to be their one more thing. But I think Fable can be their centerpiece. So
Yeah.
open on Hellblade, set the tone. Fable's in the middle.
Yep.
And, to get that. But if you want to put respect on their name, these day one studios, they're not day one, but you know what I'm saying. The OGs, the vets, you let the coalition come out there and show you some in-game Gear 6. Something that not even Hellblade will be able to match. Something that you won't even be able to see Sony do. And you're gonna be
Nine
like,
Lives is on your page, sir. He is calling it now. He says it will beat 2016, basically E3 of Dreams.
Yeah, can I get
Absolutely.
a now with that one? All right.
Right.
Yes,
So
yes.
this is what I'm saying. I think
Ooh-wee.
if you really wanna say we're here and we're confident and we believe in ourselves and our vision, you got the Return of the King. Well, I mean that would be Master Chief, but we ain't getting that yet.
Well, we might get season
but
4.
the-
Might talk
You mean
about
you
it.
mean
next
Return
best
of the
thing.
King, Master Cheeks? They show you a video of
They
of
better
season
not.
2?
They better not.
So the next best thing, if we're not gonna get Master Chief, we're gonna save him for 2024. You let the coalition come out and melt everybody's face.
Ham Solo is saying Wu-Tang is for the children. That's what
Yeah,
he's
we're
saying.
not getting that rumored Wu-Tang game. We're not even gonna see it till at the earliest next year, but maybe
Yeah.
2025. If it's
Ma-
real, that's some end of the generation
Wu-Tang.
Hey,
stuff.
Everborn,
Wu-Tang for the
imagine if we hear, ooh, and just kick
Oh
it in.
no! Oh no!
Like, fuck yo, I would die.
Atomically.
boom, boom.
All right.
No!
Man.
I don't even want RZA to introduce it because he's in
I'm-
the Hollywood stuff.
What?
I
What
want
a
straight up. I want Raekwon and Ghostface to come out and introduce that.
Can y'all imagine Raekwon and Chef and Ghostface Killer walking out there on the stage?
Oh my god,
That would be insane.
that would be.
You mean? I mean, they're walking on stage. If we're talking stage walking, we've seen Keanu do it, right? We've now seen like Nicolas Cage do it.
Yeah.
I say Method Man. He's next.
I can see Meth. Yeah, Meth is
You know what I'm
he's an
saying?
acting star now. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, that's
You know, it'd be good. It'd be good. It'd be
And
absolutely.
they
good.
have to
Okay,
play,
here's the
they have to play
question.
Cream if that's the case.
Does
yeah.
the ROG Ally show make an appearance at the show?
I think so. I don't think you see a big splashy let's talk about it, but I think in a sizzle reel of Game Pass of some sort, you may see something of that ilk just kind of splash and show you kind of, hey, we're behind it. I wouldn't be surprised to see that. I wouldn't be surprised. And
Oh,
if they don't do
by
that, that's
the way,
unfortunate. They should do that.
If it is the Wu-Tang game, the only song to come out to is Verbal Intercourse.
Oh God!
Oh,
Are you thinking that's going to happen on the Xbox stage? Seriously?
You know, that's
Listen,
not.
man.
Can you imagine how
do that
awkward
right
this
now.
was?
Life.
I can only
You gonna
imagine
do
how
it, do it.
awkward feeling it would be.
If you're gonna do it, do it. The only person that'd be bumping that would be Sarah Bond in the background going. Everybody else would be like, "What is this?"
Obviously, Aaron Greenberg back there just doing this thing, doing a little bop back there. Yeah.
Okay. So we're about to call the end of the episode. I think there may be a few last minute things we'll talk about before we
the
go.
Other thing, I need Phil to come out on stage wearing that
Hold the line shirt.
I need Phil.
That was great.
Like for all when they was calling for your head.
Yep.
When you had an insurrection. From the call was coming inside the house.
Yep.
You had a lot of people that had no problem praising Game Pass and everything you was doing. And the first sign of cold weather, they turned tails and ran. But fans supported you and they saw the bigger picture. I think you need to wear that Hold the Line shirt.
That would be dope.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, we have 289 folks still in here. We appreciate you for being here. I see we have 193 likes. Please, let's creep that up to at least 200. We'd appreciate that. We're close to the end of the episode.
I feel like we should. I feel like we should go for 250. I think we could do it.
Hey, that'd be even better, man. That'd be even better. We appreciate all the folks that have been here, tailgating with us, doing the pre-show with us. We are enjoying the conversation. I am hyped for tomorrow. And on the conversation, on the topic of lists, it's not just one. There are multiple lists out there. So it's not like there is a spoiler list somewhere. It could be true. It could not be true. And there are multiple variations. So don't worry. No one knows everything. No one, none of us here knows definitively.
But if that one thing is true,
it's a few things that were on there that was true so far.
Seriously. Yeah.
That
is worth mentioning. Yeah. That is worth mentioning. There have been a few things. There have been a few parts of the list that we were kind of looking at with a side eye that have now proven to be true.
Yeah,
right?
Just suddenly announced, and we're like, "Why that? Oh, that was shown, wasn't it?" Oh, hey.
Between the Summer Game Fest and a few other announcements that have happened between now, when that first list came out and now, we have seen a few. We have seen a few. So we see Pre-Tran is saying, what about the one more thing? Is there a one more thing?
I think he was asking, what is that one thing? Because he didn't see the leak.
Oh, what is that one thing? What is that one thing?
We won't say.
Do we want to say?
No.
First and foremost, I won't say. I won't say. But chat, you're in here. There's hundreds of people in here right now. One, if you want us to say. Two, if you don't want us to say. Continue.
No, I don't think we should say it.
But no. I want to hear. I want to take a barometer of the. I want to see what the chat thinks. But while we get the ones and twos, let me ask you guys. Besides games, do we see anything else? And I'm not talking about TV. Obviously, they've learned their lesson there. I'm not talking about.
Is there a hardware announcement?
Is there a hardware announcement? Is there a quality of life thing? Is there a new partnership being announced besides games?
Family Pass in the U.S.
Yeah, Family Pass. I can see being announced.
Like right now, let me get that for the holiday season. Like that would be a big hit. That would be a big hit.
Yeah. So based on the ones and twos, more twos say no, ones say yes, more twos say no. Let's not bring it up. So
somebody put a 3 in there.
I saw a 3 and a 12 in there, but I'm not even dealing with that.
I don't even know what I was gonna say. Forget it.
Oh,
we don't want to.
What were we talking about? What were we talking about? I got caught up with
that one thing. We won't
that
speak
one
on
thing.
It. And the thing is, it could end up not being true. I hope it is true.
I hope it's true. Yeah.
But we don't want to say anything, especially if it turns out to be true. You all be looking at us like, well, you said this you shouldn't have said it. That took away my excitement.
But I do think that's one of those things that nobody would expect. So if it turns out to be true, that is not the same thing as whether Fable will or will not be there, because that was already announced.
Yeah, but see, this is my point. You shouldn't have spoken about Fable because now it's a foregone conclusion.
Yep. Now we expect it.
Fable is the only game because I'm going into the show like I tried to just go in with a blank slate. Forget about your expectations. Judge it based on what you saw, not what leaks or what you were hoping to be there. However, the exception to that rule is Fable. Fable needs to be there, or there's going to be some disappointment.
Yes,
and
indeed.
I think that disappointment will be warranted.
Well, but you
Everything
realize
else, do
you
not
realize
count
why
your-
there'd be
your-
disappointment, right?
Yeah,
You'd realize why there'd be disappointment, right? Because they have telegraphed it. Just like they telegraphed the 12 months. Just like they telegraphed everything else, getting prepared for more mud in their eye.
Yeah, they at this point it's already a foregone conclusion. We
Yeah.
all expect it to be. Hell, I expect the Fable collection to be there.
Wait a minute. So here's a question, and I believe that I know the answer to this, so I won't give an answer. Are we expecting, if Fable is there, what are we expecting the art style to be? Is it going to be photorealistic or is it going to be
Stylized but photorealistic? That's my thinking.
So I can tell you, and I have no inside information, but I was part of the way back when, part of the last Fable game, the beta program, which like literally like the day it was getting released was the day they canceled it, and I was playing the game when they canceled it. And if you saw the look of that game, they don't need to upgrade at all. Just give me new Fable, remake Fable with Fable Legends graphics.
Legends actually did look pretty good, by the way.
It was effing excellent. It was just wow. To the point where when they canceled it, I was you let all these artists do this and throw it away?
Yeah.
All they need to do exactly that art style. This is how many years ago? Exactly that art style.
Asking is because I'm hearing people say they expect it to look like, The Witcher in terms of art style. But I'm like, why would you expect that for a Fable game?
I don't expect it, but I wouldn't be mad at it either. If they gave
Now,
us
this doesn't mean
they gave
it's
us
not
that, I'll be
supposed
fine.
to be visually stunning. Because again, I think Ratchet and Clank proves you can have a cartoon game that looks better than these photorealistic games.
Absolutely.
So this is not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is art style.
Yeah.
Right.
And Fuzzy said what I was talking about: photorealistic environment, but stylized characters and stuff. That's what I think it will be. I think that's the most accurate description of it. I think the buildings and such will look kind of photorealistic, colorful though. The palette, I think the palette of the world will be colorful, and the stylization of the characters will be because it would just fit with the styling of the past games. I think they're going to kind of stick true to that.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you on that. And let me see. Okay, so I just pulled out a little bit of footage. I pulled, and obviously this is old game. So this was the look of old Fable. And it's an old game. Wow. This was before 1080p. This was before a lot of that. It was amazing, bro.
Was that Unreal Engine, by the way?
No.
Yes, it was.
I believe
Say it. Say its name. Okay.
I think it was UE4. I think it was one of the first UE4 projects.
That's right.
So. But it was quite good looking.
Rock, right? That was Rock. And then there was the girl with the shield. Like this game.
Yeah. So let me skip ahead a bit. So yeah. It never came out, right? But there were a bunch of betas, and if you're inside the program, you probably tried it. It was really good looking. Like they need to update it, obviously. Yeah. But it was. Imagine this in 2016. It was very good looking.
Update these visuals a bit, in the world, to modern standards. Yeah, I can see this working.
Let me say this on the eve of exclusives no longer mattering. Yeah, this is going to be the new narrative.
On the eve of,
right? Yeah. So the thing that people gave Phil so much crap for saying, even though they misinterpreted it. Why did we all ignore the fact that the first half of last generation, all the high-profile AAA exclusives were with Xbox? It wasn't until 2016, 2017 where that flipped, and then Xbox was canceling games, and then the games they did release were lower budget stuff. But 2013 to 2016, like we're talking about Rise, we're talking about Killer Instinct, we're talking about Tomb Raider, we're talking about
Halo 5. We're talking about what's the Insomniac game?
Spider-Man?
Sunset Overdrive.
Sunset Overdrive. We're talking about Titanfall
Quantum Break.
being introduced.
Yep. Quantum Break.
All those things.
All those games.
Right? And they were praising PlayStation and Dead Rising, praising PlayStation 4 for being the indie station and the indie darling.
Sure did.
And all of those AAA exclusives did not matter.
That's right.
So when Phil said AAA games alone don't matter or won't change things, it is true.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
So now again, they did matter when Xbox wasn't doing them. And now this is why I say we're on the eve of exclusives not mattering, because we're about to go back to that where it's like, yeah, you have quadruple A exclusives coming every quarter, but that doesn't matter anymore.
But remember, right?
Where's the artistic?
Everyone, please show us. Show us where the Hoof brothers hurt you, sir. You seem to continue their line of questioning. You seem to keep adjudicating their talking points for us, right?
No. What I am doing.
Who hurt you, sir?
I am Negro Damas, and I'm just telling you what is going to happen because I'm also.
So did you find out? Did you find out that the person who's going to allow you to continue to keep your front with the 2 Teslas? You found out that he's a pony. Is that what it is? That's the reason why you're so mad.
Oh, you guys don't know. You guys don't know what's going on. I'm doing a whole thing where it's a whole thing. We did some.
You put the cart before the horse, literally.
he built something and now it's like not up to code, and now we have to go get architects. And zoning changed, and it's a whole thing that we're dealing with. So what Kay Asante is saying is
he found out that the person who's going to rubber stamp his approval is a pony. Yeah. So now he's very angry, very angry. Clearly, he seems to keep adjudicating.
If that was the case, I would be using some of their talking points. But again, remember I said it. Exclusives are going to stop mattering. That's all I'm saying.
You know the thing, I do agree with you on that. Okay, but I mean, and Everborn. But the thing is, though, the reason why it didn't matter as much then is because Xbox had such a negative campaign against it because of how they launched with the TV when they announced it. All those things worked against it all. That's what hurt it so bad.
But I thought games were supposed to be what mattered.
Yeah, but then you had the DRM. You had the DRM situation. You had the pricing of the console.
And now you have digital consoles.
Absolutely. Everything turned on its head. So that's why I think we won't get that. I think it'll be different. I think it'll actually be the exclusives do matter.
I think he's right. And the reason why he's right is because when the Xbox One X came out, guess what didn't matter? Resolution didn't matter anymore.
Sure didn't.
Yeah. Anytime Xbox answers the call, all of a sudden it doesn't matter anymore. Right? That's
so true.
The caller changes.
Yeah, that's fair.
The same way the minute their PS Negative service started getting some decent games, all of a sudden, oh my God, services are amazing, right? So I mean, he has a point. It's just we know the narrative.
Organic growth was.
Well, but see, this is why Everborn. This is why Everborn. We must be in our own Apple-like echo chamber where their BS narratives don't fill. Yes, I said Apple-like. Yes, because unique to any other ecosystem, Apple does not let any of the outside stuff permeate inside the echo chamber. So unlike any other ecosystem, right? We need to be Apple-like in our militancy about how we don't pay attention to them.
I'm about to expose you right now. So we were having a conversation. No,
you're not. Because no. Everborn Saga. We have 3 minutes.
Trying to silence
2 minutes. Listen carefully. We have 2 minutes and 57 seconds. We're not going to get another 3-hour podcast out of this. Stop it.
That's very.
We can talk about it after.
Man.
Anyway,
tweet about
wanted to trade in his 4090 for M2 just because Apple got some emulation.
Got to work it out in the DM.
Yeah, we got to work it out in the DM. I speak speeds and feeds to the man. He replies back with emotions. It's weird. It's very weird. Anyway. Yes. But anyways, so okay. I think we should leave it here because there are so many other shows and actually that we will be on that you have in store for you this weekend. Myself and Umbra will be on Box and Burgers channel not too long from now, continuing that conversation. I know that there's a lot of talk being had between now and the show proper, and of course, when the show happens, we'll have a pre-show or we'll have a post-show. I know Umbra, you have a post-show as well. We'll let you talk about that as well. Oh, I see a super chat just popped in here.
Fantastic super chat.
From Enigmatic Dreams.
Yes.
With a $5 saying, this is why I always side with Everbone Saga K. What K Asante Arlie? As in
Really?
Rog Ally?
Really?
Oh, okay. Apple lost all credibility. Worth every bit of. Oh, okay. Well, let's be clear here. Let's be clear. Let's be clear here. I am not an Apple person. Actually, between the two of us, he is more of an Apple person than I am. But we'll leave that conversation for another day. He has far more Apple stuff than I do. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, but I don't got that M2 that you wanted to get rid of your 4080 for.
Who wants to get rid of that 40?
I'm gonna tell you what he said. I'm gonna tell you what he said. Cause now I got to talk.
Tell him how you really mad. Tell him how you really mad, son.
I just muted his mic.
I feel like I couldn't hear you for some reason. You weren't coming through clearly.
That's petty. That's
all right. Risky did that to me one time. That's messed up.
Come on, I had to do it. Come on, I had to do it.
Yeah, you ain't right.
It was perfect timing. Come on.
I'm like, did he mute himself? I'm like, now I look over at Kay and he's smiling like, yeah, I got him.
You see?
You ain't right.
That's caught in the reality distortion.
No, okay. So let's be clear. Let's be clear, real quick, before we go. So the conversation we were having is because
my narrative. He doesn't want me to say.
No.
You go ahead,
Look,
sir.
No. Let me speak facts, and you can bring the emotions on.
Okay,
it's fine.
Sure.
Fact is, Apple is now doing what's Valve. Stop it. What Valve has now.
Valve
hitched their wagons. You want me to mute you again? What Valve has been doing, which is using a middleman, if you will, to get Windows games to run on Mac, right? Obviously, Valve uses Proton to get Windows games to run on Linux, right? And the conversation came about, and it was like, oh, what does this mean? Now, what I think this means is, while this won't change anything as far as the real world, on paper, this could be monumental in many different ways. Why? Because Apple uses unified technology, whereas Windows has always been based on disparate technologies. Apple switched to unified recently. So if you understand, and I know Lucius and a few other folks in the chat, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Apple
reinvented
gaming.
Shut up. They are able to unify all their hardware. So if you have like 64 gigs of RAM on your system, right? Then you have 64 gigs of RAM that the video card can also access. Whereas on Windows, the RAM that's on the graphics card is what matters in Windows, because hey, the graphics card came with 12 gigs, you have 12 gigs, right? On the Apple side, since they're going unified, they could give all 64 gigs to the graphics card, right? Now, doesn't mean that it'll beat ray tracing and all that, because NVIDIA has had a lot of time to really, really offload certain workloads and make it very interesting. That's why we're seeing all we're seeing. But from a raw throughput hardware perspective, there's a world where you put a Mac Pro, like a full Mac Pro together, and put their graphics to bear, and it could rival the 4090. Tell me I'm wrong, Pixelbit G. I'm not asking Everborn Saga. Okay. I'm asking the other technologist on the panel. Pixelbit G, tell me I'm wrong.
This is the paradigm that they were trying to work out with DirectX, right?
Exactly.
Similar concept where you could have dual GPUs and combine the power of the two GPUs. Yes. It worked in one game so far, right? I think that game from Stardock did it, and it was
SLI and all that.
Yeah. So I mean, if they actually get
but you hear my point though, right? You understand the logic I'm going, because Apple can unify hardware and can add more hardware. Because think about it, your 3090 or your 4090 has what it has, and it can never change. But in an Apple world, your 4090 could get more VRAM because you add more RAM to your system. which is a very interesting place to live.
Apple
I'm
World,
not
you
saying
would
throw your
not
4090
have
out the
a
window.
4090.
Concept.
You wouldn't have a 4090. And I asked you a very specific question. I asked you if Death Stranding is going to run better on the Mac or your 4090.
Possibly.
He's doing it right now.
It's true. I
And-
don't have 128 gigs of RAM I can throw at my video card. On the Mac, you can do that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why I'm saying possibly.
We're calling this thing, it's revolutionary just because Apple's doing it.
No, not at all. What? Who
And
said that?
Let's just ignore all the DLSS and the RDNA 3. Let's ignore all those things just because Apple has unified memory. Forget about everything else you get in your.
See, and he's arguing with me, the hardware guy.
People buckle that system, like reality has buckled the 4090, right? Like Cyberpunk has shown.
Well, but exactly. But see, this is my point, right?
Interesting,
Go ahead.
but we'll see how it happens in the real world.
Exactly. What this is why when we had this conversation, I said I was talking to him about speeds and feeds, and he gave me emotion. I'm saying on paper, this is very interesting. We'll see where it goes. Doesn't mean you're throwing your 4090 away. For the record, I have a 4090, and I'm very proud of my 4090. I'm not throwing it away.
Are you though?
Thank you, sir. So we have Enigmatic Dreams. No, he already left that super chat. His second one was he was joking and he loved.
No, don't pull that back. You was right the first time.
No, and I appreciate the slander. I'm here for that smoke. Let's go.
Think about this. How much would 128 gigs cost you on this closed hardware ecosystem? How much would Apple dig in your pockets? I'm going to argue it would be the price of a car.
No, because the unified memory is already on many systems currently, even without that gaming thing.
How much is it going to cost you to get a
usually,
system from
Apple
upgrade with 128 gigs?
Even no, not 128 gigs.
Okay,
Usually,
I'm going to
usually
Apple
100 tier RAM upgrade is about 150 to $200. That's usually what the step of RAM is. But we're having a completely different conversation about this, man.
No, it is not for Apple, but it's fine.
Okay. Hold on.
20K is what I'm seeing in chat. So we're gonna go to Apple.com.
20K for RAM.
Apple.com, and we want to. What chip are we talking about? The M2 Max or the Ultra? Which one?
You know what?
The M2 Max or the M2 Ultra?
Much like your adjudicating fight with the ponies, you're fighting all by yourself on this one, sir. Okay. Much like your fight with the ponies, you're fighting all by yourself on this one. Because I'm not arguing with you.
That Windows is not the de facto place for gaming.
And shout out to John Wolf saying welcome to the Apple podcast.
Right? And remember, this is coming from the person who's trying to slander all the Windows handhelds in favor of what Valve is doing.
Oh, God. Okay, now he's going too far, and I will definitely mute his mic.
You see what's happening?
Mr. Pixelbit G, we are at the end of the show, sir. Because he's going too far at this point. I'm pulling an audible.
Ooh, only M2 Ultra can go to 128 gigs of memory.
Pixel, sir, tell the fine folks what you're going to be doing on this pre-game show. Where will you be watching this stuff? Where can we catch all of your moving and shaking on these here streets? When it all happens, when the game show happens, where can we find your reaction, sir?
Unfortunately, not unfortunately, my son's birthday is tomorrow. So
happy birthday.
Thank you. We will be traveling with the little guy.
Happy birthday to the
I'll
little
be
man.
enjoying the day with him over, throughout to Monday. So I'm gonna try to catch the show late, sometime before midnight, and you'll hear me talking my nonsense about it on Twitter, under Infinite 3652, whatever that damn big ass number is. So, I'll probably be catching up on shows and reactions, so you'll see me in chats where possible. But everybody enjoy the show. Hopefully it's a good one, and we are not disappointed. But always, it has been a pleasure to be on the show with you guys. My man Infinite Umbra, Slow Mo was in the house because he always manages to show up when I show up.
He does. I noticed.
But it's been awesome with you guys again. And shout out to that 90 minutes turned into 3 hours, guys. I love y'all so much.
Always works that way. Always. Same on my show.
Always.
I was like,
But I
we'll do it
love
real
I
quick.
love it. It's all
2
good. I
hours
love
late
it.
there.
It's all good.
Yeah.
And the man, Infinite Umbra, who has given his time more than he initially planned on doing, because he and I will also be podcasting soon on another channel. Sir, besides Boxing Burgers channel, where else will we be finding you?
Oh, my man. So outside of box, Sunday night, me, you, Daniel McGee, boom.
Yes, sir.
He had an all-star cast tomorrow that we'll be watching. We'll be talking about the Xbox show after, Starfield wraps up the show Starfield. So we got that going. Tuesdays, of course, you all can find me on Boom's podcast, Xbox Factor at 12 Eastern. Thursday is my show, The Fix, with Daniel McGee. And
Great
we got
show.
a crazy, thank you. We got a crazy, and we had Kay on there this past week. Next week should be Everborn. I hope you didn't forget Everborn.
Oh,
So
I did not forget.
Okay,
Excellent,
I was
excellent.
going to
As
remind
long as
you.
you
anyway.
promised, as long as you promised none of this Apple talk. This
Oh, no.
Apple-
Oh, God.
Apple
Here
and
you
Valve
go.
apologies talk.
We ain't talking about Apple.
I'll be right there.
Hey, let's-
only Unreal Engine 5 talk on that
Only
show.
Unreal
Only a
Engine.
UE5.
Yeah,
only
indeed.
UE5. Go ahead.
Apple's out of my pay grade with 3,500 for those things. But
You know?
Oh, by the way, I just asked the missus for that for my birthday. We'll see. We'll
You
see how
did?
that
Really?
turns out.
Oh,
Good luck.
wow. So
See,
listen,
I'm not
birthday's
asking for the missus
December.
for that.
Right? My birthday's December, so that means you'd have to pre-order it and then wait. But we'll see. We'll see if I can make that work.
man, hey, good luck to you. But outside of Everborn this week, after the show, the 15th, we got Dealer, we got Rand, we got
Excellent.
Everborn,
Awesome.
and we got Dirt Griggity all on that one right there. So that's going to be a crazy show.
Oh, epic.
I'm hoping the show
yeah.
is really, really great so we can all be in there and not be all somber. Like,
And not be
they should've
somber.
done
Yes,
this.
yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm
sir.
gonna have to prepare for Rand trying to slander Sonic, but I'll be ready.
Be ready.
There you go.
And of course, on Fridays, Xbox Infinite. We didn't have one this week, a show this week because Risket is out in LA with everybody. So, but this week coming up, I'm sure we'll have a great show. And hey, everybody, as King said, hold the line. I think this is going to be a great show. And shout out to Pixel and you guys as well. It's a great discussion. Always.
Yeah. Always appreciate you being here, brother. Always great. You and Pixel jumping on here is basically, you guys are, the two other members of this show. And whenever we need to talk serious, we need to have some man talk, we need to have any kind of real talk, you guys are the ones I'm always like first to invite. So appreciate you being here as usual.
Always there for you, brother. Always appreciate it.
And Mr. Everborn Slander, yes. His Twitter feed is prolific today. I'm sure there will be a lot more Sonic talk going on. If you want to have it out about this Apple conversation, you can join us, myself and Mr. John Wolf, on the Gamers Playground on Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we will talk fully about the Appleness of it all. If you want to have this debate about the whole thing, we'll do it there, right? We'll definitely do it there. I want to have a conversation with you about it there. But between now and then, a lot of stuff happening, a lot of conversation being had. Where will people find you? Where can they keep up with you and all your ongoings? When the show goes down, where will they be able to catch up with your reactions, sir?
I am actually going to be out with the family tomorrow. We were supposed to go see Into the Spider-Verse last week. My 13-year-old really wanted to see it. So I'm trying to move the time around so we can do it before or after the show. We will see. But there is a world where just like Thursday, where I am not watching it live. So I may actually not see it live. This is going to be super
That may be
interesting.
painful.
Yeah, well, hey,
Okay.
Just for the record, people, a Mac Pro is $7,000.
He's still going.
$799.
He's
But
still
anyway,
going. He's
but
arguing with
will-
himself.
I
What are we
will,
doing?
in any event, I will not be streaming. I won't be on anybody's show, I don't think.
Okay.
Even if I am catching it live, so I'm just gonna watch it like not in content creator mode. I'll be watching it in fan mode, and hopefully there'll be some
If
tears
that
rolling.
list, I'll say this here, and I will speak for Everborn Saga because I think he'll agree with me. If that list turns out to be fully factual, you will catch our takes in Spaces. We will jump on Spaces. We will talk about it. Even if we are busy doing something else, if those last two things that we think will hit, we're gonna have to talk about.
We might be watching Spider-Man, and I'm gonna be streaming this like in the headphones. I'm gonna jump up in the theater at like a death scene, like yes.
For those who don't know what lists we're talking about, these two IPs are that big. So we shall see. We shall see if it happens. But of course, we are at the end of it. We appreciate all the folks and sticking it out with us. You know, Slow-Mo was in here. Of course, we have Infinite Umbra in here. We have Pixel Bit G, and of course, the man, Mr. Everborn Saga. We thank you guys so much for sticking it out with us and enjoying all the fun debate and banter we're talking about. Because of course, you know, tomorrow's the main show. Today is the pregame show. We are at the end, and we still have 195 folks in here. Thank you guys so much for the continued support. Hit the like button on the way out if you haven't done so already. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. We have so much great content that we're planning for you guys soon. Yes, we had some technical gremlins, but you see, we even have like, you know, new upgrades that we're doing as well to make sure this channel gets brighter and better. Please, you know, leave comments in the chat. Leave comments when this goes up. Give us props, give us creative criticism, whatever you want to give us. We are ready and willing to accept it, and we want to make this show.
Well, not
better.
everything. Pause.
Well, pause. Yeah, pause. Not that far.
I know how you get down, Mr. K. Asante.
Enjoy your E3 like weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully Sunday is amazing. And until then, we'll see you next time. Peace.